Say hello, Rick Smith, Brent, Jake Lagatare, Navia, and Samarth. Mr. Manx also. Nice. Hello, everyone. Hello. Sorry, normally I'm a little bit earlier. Today I was, I guess, 1 minute late or something. My spot was taken over by another animal rights activist. I don't know if you can see him. Can you see him? Oh shit, I can zoom in now. I realize. See, he's over here. You see, over here. There he is. That's an animal rights activist. Yeah. Today is Vegan Future Amsterdam. It is very warm outside. Give me 1 second. Let me put down the cap for you guys. Hey, Erwin. Okay. Okay, cap put. I'm already all oiled up because of the weather. It's not sunny now, which is good. I hope it stays this way. Let me put the signs, and we're ready to go then. Damn, I got so many signs. Okay, let's do this. The cap fell. Sorry, everybody. What do you disagree with? Stay cool, stay inside. If you can't drink water, check your elderly neighbors. Yeah, I won't be doing that today.
Primero pues llevamos Bruselas, después ya Berlín y después llegamos entonces
Okay, here we are. Chill stream yesterday was chill. Very cool community. I agree. Okay, we're here. We're set up. We don't have a lot of space. You see, there's people on the bench, so you're gonna be seeing me up close. That's okay. Can I come there? Where do you want to sit?
Because if you're standing there, then it's maybe better if I stand a little bit further so that we have different.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to see you.
Same. Good luck. You came early also, huh? To this one. Nice. So normally they start at 2, but he came earlier. Let's see. Let's do. The good thing is the people on the bench will also listen to the conversation. So there you go. We get a lot more people listening. I'm between 2 benches. Damn, man. The sun is coming and I'm actually in the sun. I don't think I can go anywhere where there is shade. But we'll see. We'll give it a try. And if I really hate it, I'm just going to try and move somewhere where I see shade. Even if there might be less people. Sadly. I am oiled up, but I don't want to be in the sun for too long. So let's see. Let's try and have a couple of conversations here, and then maybe we'll move somewhere else.
Yeah, if you see one of the metros, we could see one of the metros too. I just don't know how.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how long we can last. I also, as I said, I don't. Oh, but it comes in and out. At least it's not that bad. If it comes in and out, it's not that. Oh, I'm jinxing it. I'm not gonna talk too much about this one. But yeah, hey everybody, nice to see you here. Thank you for being here. It's been an interesting day. On Tuesday, it's gonna be 35 degrees in Netherlands here in Amsterdam. 35. It's insanely hot. I actually had a dentist appointment on Tuesday, and I'm gonna cancel it because I just don't want to get out of the house when there's 35 degrees outside. It's gonna be well. I'm gonna go to the gym, but in the morning. There's gonna be 27 degrees at 10 a.m. Imagine that, 27 at 10 a.m. Hey, Martin. And it's not gonna be a good time for the next 4 days, but that's okay. It's only 4 days. At least that, At least we only get 4 days. I'm probably gonna throw myself in the Amstel River on Tuesday or something just to cool down, and then just come back home. Just like jump in, swim a little bit, and come back out and go home. That's essentially what my schedule is here. 20 degrees here today, says Linda. Nice, Linda. Appreciate that. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's actually really nice weather. 20 degrees, huh? Yeah. Because I'm here, the bench is now empty. Everybody's like, "Oh, I don't want to be next to this guy with the camera and the microphone." It's a good thing we are all equal. Me, vegan doesn't make a person morally superior to another. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's not about that. It's not about moral superiority. It's not like if you're vegan, you're all of a sudden moral superior. But if you are vegan, you are doing one thing better than others, right? Which is, for example, when you consume animal products, you are choosing the option that is the least oppressive, the least harmful, and the one that doesn't exploit innocent sentient beings. So that's one. When you are buying other products, you are looking after and trying to make sure that there is no animal oppression in the product that you're buying. So there's that. Muscular vegan, yeah. But look at those arms. Yeah, you can be vegan and a dick also. It's not inherent that if you're vegan, you're all of a sudden better. Although it is a strong possibility that if you understand the moral aspect of not exploiting animals, you're probably not going to want to support the exploitation of humans also. So I would say there's a higher likelihood that being vegan will make you more empathetic towards people also, since you are going to be more empathetic towards animals. But it's difficult to say. Can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. Yeah, that whole Pink Floyd verses kind of sucks. You can eat plant-based meat if you want. The whole point of it is not to exploit innocent sentient beings. It's not about what you eat. It's not about what you wear. It's not about how you want to entertain yourself. It's about respecting animals, leaving them off of your plate, off of their skin, off of your back, and all this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, you want to try a social experiment? I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit.
Okay.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Oh gosh.
Oh, I'm okay. We gotta get to our museum. I think it's in like 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll pass.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sure.
Thanks.
No worries. That's okay. Run. Yes, they will run. You want to try?
Speak French?
No, only English.
Sorry, so we can do it.
No, you only speak French? I see you speak English pretty well.
Not very well.
Not very
sorry.
well? Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Next time. You want to try it?
Hello. Yeah.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah. Not an issue.
What's your name?
Clément.
Clément. Oh,
Yes.
you're also French, huh?
Yes. Oh, you too?
No. I
Okay.
heard that from them. They were
Okay.
French also. Can you come a bit closer to that chair?
Absolutely.
Nice. Love it, Clément. So, Clément, I'm an animal. Clément, right?
Yeah.
I'm an animal rights activist. I speak for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah, I think so.
What rights do you think they deserve?
That's a good question. Oh well, obviously the basic ones like protection, respect. I think a lot of things based on respect are maybe quite evident.
Do you think they deserve the right to not be enslaved by us?
Yes, absolutely. We have to define what slave bias is. Like, I mean, domestication don't have only bad results, obviously, even if for some things what it is. I don't have a lot of examples in mind,
Like, do you think should they have the right to not be our property?
Yes, but if it's a right, it means they should be able to exercise it or not.
Yeah.
And then we should be able to understand when they want not to be considered as property of us,
Yeah.
which would be a bit difficult.
Fair enough. You're talking about pets right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you think about like animals, for example, the animals that we use in animal agriculture,
Yeah.
do you think those are treated like property?
Well, obviously they are. They are working. Once again, I would say it's a matter of respect. They are working. They are earning their food and the shelter in exchange.
Is that how you see it?
I mean, that's what a human worker would do. The only thing is that the human worker has more a choice to choose his work and make.
What's the difference between a human worker and a slave?
Let's say that one condition would be the ability to change occupations.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ability to be autonomous, to get out of this situation.
Do you think any of these animals have that freedom?
No, but obviously this is a lot because of the impossibility to communicate, I would say.
You think that's why? Do you think the fact that they're brought into existence and killed as babies, do you think that's not do you think that's ever something that they want to happen to them?
Obviously not.
Yeah.
Not something we would like as it would to
Yeah.
happen to us.
Do you think in that situation we're giving them respect, or we are respecting their right by bringing them to life only to slaughter them?
I don't know, like on a personal basis, I'm vegetarian, but more for ecological reasons.
You mean like the
suffering-
environment and stuff?
Yeah. So it's something I don't think about a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely.
But so you're vegetarian.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, do you consume animal products, right? Like, I'm assuming dairy products or eggs, right?
Yes, I limit myself to eggs, milk, and that's it.
Do you think you can live without these products?
Without these products, would be like being totally vegan. Would be possible. Would need a bit more extra effort from my part, from my side, to have an equilibrium
Yeah.
in what I eat. B12 vitamin, obviously, of course.
You should be
from-
taking B12 vitamins anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, should be possible. I think for now this is enough.
You think it's enough to be vegetarian?
Yeah.
Enough
like-
for the environment or for the animals? Because for neither it's well enough. But
Yeah, it's like if all of us were vegetarians, it would help a lot. For the animal cause, it's where it's also kind of in a hypothetical perfect world where it would work. We could be pleased with just eggs production. So it's like if they are not, if there isn't any, let's say it, fecunded. Yeah.
if they're not killed, you say? Yeah, so let's go to the dairy products, because apparently you don't know what happens in the dairy industry. Why do you think cows produce milk?
Cost produce.
Why do you think they produce milk?
Oh yeah, for their babies.
Exactly, exactly. So do you think they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
From what I know, farmers impregnate them, and then they draw milk for like 1 year, and then they have to impregnate them again.
Yeah, yeah, they do that repeatedly. And when the babies are born, do you think what do you think they do with them?
Take it immediately,
Take them. Yeah. Do you know why?
so that they don't get attached mother to children.
Also, but the reason why they take them is so that they don't drink their milk.
Oh,
Because if they stay with their mother, they drink maybe more milk than we want them to, and
Okay.
that's not allowed. You know, that's not allowed. Yeah, if they're born male, they don't produce milk. So what do you think they do to them?
if they born what?
Male.
Well, I guess it's either directly to meat production,
Yeah.
or directly, or part of them is yeah, they keep them for having more grown meat.
Yeah. So they either kill them directly, or they
Yeah.
grow them up to a year or two, and then they kill them. Indeed.
Okay.
And if they're born female, they do this repeatedly year over year, as you said. Impregnate them, take their babies, exploit them for milk. And
Okay.
at some point, they also kill them. Do you know when?
7 years old or just about
Yeah, do you know why?
milk production stops?
They can't get them pregnant.
Okay.
So if they can't get them pregnant, they kill them. They don't even allow for 1 year. Maybe the next year they will get them pregnant.
Okay.
But they don't allow for 1 year because they would have to feed them the whole year, and it would be expensive for them. And they can live 24, 25 years, so a third of their natural lifespan. Is that not extremely cruel to do to an animal?
I'm a bit in between the fact that from a side, well, it's better than natural way where
It's
I
better than them having freedom. Or what do you mean by
like,
natural
I mean
way?
that their lifespan in nature may be way smaller. With
No, it's 24, 25 years.
yeah, but with incidents and predators. But as a
What predators?
well, there isn't anymore. But
Yeah.
when there weren't human activity and
Do you think none of them reached their at least more than a third of their last lifespan? I think they
Yeah,
did.
they
And
did.
that's only the dairy cows, but all the other ones. So that's like maximum 50% of them. The other 50%, like the males who are born male, they get killed almost instantly. They get killed at 10% of their lifespan.
Yeah.
Do you really don't think that on average they would have a better life just having freedom? And like, let me ask you, what would you rather have? Would you rather be trapped in somebody's, let's say, this whole house?
yeah.
You're safe there, but you don't get to choose what to eat. You are forced what to eat. You are forced what to do at each scenario, when to go to bed, when to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And you don't get to choose about your babies anything. You will die when the farmer says you will die. Or would you rather be free and risk it?
Yeah, I would definitely choose to be free.
Yeah. Do you think that's an intellectual choice, or do you think that's just something inherent within you?
Inherent with?
Within you, like, is it something coming from, oh, I have to think about it, or is it something that it's pretty easily to say that you want freedom?
I don't know if its freedom is really a human-based concept that we strive for.
Yeah,
strive
I
for.
think we all want freedom. I think,
Yeah.
like, if you put an animal in a cage, they want to be free. That's pretty simple. You see that. And just because we create bigger cages and we think we take care of them, sure, but we don't do it for them. We got to be honest. We do it for us. We do absolutely everything we can to get as much product as we can out of them.
Yeah.
And if that means we have to take a little bit of a better care of them, we'll take a little bit of a better care of them. But if it would mean we have to torture them, we would torture them. Like, it's literally only about the product. The only reason why cows have a better life is because customers ask for it.
Yeah.
There's no other reason. Farmers
Clearly.
don't care about the animal, or at least they care about them like, like I care about my laptop, like an object basically that gives
Okay.
something. If they care that object will give them as much as they can.
Yeah.
Do you want to support this? Violence towards animals, oppression.
Well, I feel like even if I don't do it for the same reason, I do it for at least more than the majority while being vegetarian, even if it's not until the end. And but the offer, I guess that there are still other types of exploitation, like for laser, or what I do for eggs, for example.
Yeah, for eggs, it's also bad. Like chickens in the wild would lay 12 to 15 eggs a year. The ones that we selectively bred can lay 350
Yeah.
eggs per year. Obviously, imagine they're the size of this, and then they lay an egg like this.
Yeah,
Like, imagine losing
proportion is-
10% of your body weight every single day. It's very draining for them. That's number one. Number two, in the places where they come from, the male chicks, because a lot of people don't know that the chickens that are bred for eggs are a different breed than the chickens that are bred for meat.
Yeah.
So the chickens that are bred for eggs, if they're born male,
Yeah.
they shred them up alive. Or
Alive?
they asphyxiate them to death. They're like, they don't give a shit about them also. Literally on their first day of life. Like, they're born, okay, shred them up. They're not female. They don't.
Okay.
They're worth nothing to us. So that's what they go through. And on top of it all, I've been on a biological farm, which is arguably one of the best ways that they do biological eggs. And the minute that they no longer lay, I think 5 or 6 eggs per year, per week, depending on the farm,
Yeah.
they also kill them.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
think
for
any of this
productivity
is
reasons.
fair? What we do to them?
Um, I guess it's not. I guess it's for productivity's sake, and I mean,
And it's all optional to us. That's the worst part about it, isn't it? Because if
Yeah.
we needed it, it would be like, okay, it's a necessary evil, but it isn't. It's just evil. That's all
Yeah.
it is, right? So while I would love to not have to have this conversation with you, but rather, fight with the governments and stuff.
Yeah.
The sad reality is most people, like yourself, like others, just pay these industries to do it. Governments will not stop something that people want to do. It's,
Okay.
especially if it's not infringing on the rights of other humans, because that's all they care about. They don't really care about animals, unless again humans start caring about animals.
Okay. I will have to leave. Yeah. Is there a conclusion to this discussion? Or?
So, how many more animals should be exploited for you until you change?
That's a cool question too. I don't know. I guess a few more.
A few more.
Well,
Would you like it if somebody said that about you?
the honest answer is a few more because I will eat a few more.
Would you
still
like it if
eggs.
somebody said that about you?
Well, not, but
I'm just gonna kill a couple more French people, just a couple more, and you happen to be amongst them. Would that be nice?
obviously not.
No.
But it's like the honest. Like I would love to say to you, oh, I will stop right away. But honestly, I won't.
Yeah, but if you start on this premise that I'm gonna exploit some of them, you're already making a decision. When instead of actually at least giving it a shot, giving it a chance about what is it about, because even if you care about the environment, which you do, which you
Yeah.
say you do, being vegetarian, you reduce your footprint to half. But then if you were to be vegan, you would reduce it even more, even
Yeah.
half. So there's also that. There's the fact that slaughterhouse workers suffer from PTSD. There's just so much awfulness outside of what happens to animals. Everybody suffers for these products.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep on supporting this, I mean, there's nothing I can tell you to if you want to continue doing it. But if I were you, I wouldn't want to support it.
Okay.
Just promise me one thing: scan this QR code and watch Dominion.
May do it. May do
Okay.
it. Okay.
I appreciate you. Watch that
Thank you.
video just to know what animal agriculture does and see if you're
Okay.
okay with it. Okay?
See ya.
Have a good one. I do not like this person. I did not like that person. No, he was not. I think he was just like a sophist type of person. Oh, I'm doing enough. I'm doing enough. No, you're not. You made a decision. You refused to be challenged on it, and yeah, he had a weird vibe, says Mr. Max. Yeah, I got that a little bit from him. I don't know. I just felt like he didn't really care, and that's the problem. Most people don't actually care. And the sad thing isn't that most people don't actually care. It's just that most people already make a decision. You talk to them, you explain to them, and even before explaining to them, they've already made a decision. They've already made a decision. They've already decided what they want to do. They already don't give a shit about facts, about what the repercussions of their facts are, about what the repercussions of their choices are. But that's all we can do, we educate them. I hope he changes. I hope he chooses differently. I hope I'm wrong about him. But I don't think that he will. Who knows? Watch the Minion. Good one, Erwin. God, my screen is kind of shit. It's difficult to see. I don't know why sometimes my screen is difficult to see. Eat meat, ladies and gentlemen. No, maybe eat plant-based meat if you want to eat meat. Don't force animals into slaughterhouses. Respect animals. If you want to say something, talk about the victims, man. Stop talking about what you enjoy, what you want, what you get out of it. How about for a single second, you take a deep breath, stop thinking about yourself, and talk about the victims. Just for a second. The victim's perspective. The victim's perspective. the side where they're oppressed, the side where they're forced into slaughterhouses, the side where they're bred only to be killed. I don't think any of us would want to be in that situation. So, let's not put others in that situation. I know we like to think that, oh, but they're animals, they don't think. They do. They do think, of course they do. Why do you think we're so special? Of all the evolution that happened, all of a sudden we are the specialists. We're not. We just have bigger brains. But animals are smart. They feel, they emote. You want to try a social experiment? I was missing on the word. Just had sausage and bacon. Yeah, you just paid for an animal to be gassed to death and another one to have their throat slit. Congratulations. You don't care about animals. Can't make you care if you don't care. That's why we have choices. Yeah, we do have choices. Just like I would have choices to go around stabbing people on the street, right? It would be theoretically my choice. Am I allowed? Should I be allowed to do that? No, I should not be allowed to do that because when I do that, I'm infringing on people's rights, right? So choices does not mean that they're moral. You having a choice does not make the choice right one. So, yeah, maybe you should not have the choice to stab animals to death. Maybe you should not have the choice to exploit innocent animals. Maybe you should not have the choice to pay for animals to be brought into existence only for you to treat them like an object. Maybe you should not have that choice. I'm just saying. It's terrifying that there is dead bodies lying around when you go buy fruit. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's terrifying that it's so normal, huh? It's terrifying that the flesh of others is so normalized. It's so terrifying. That is terrifying. Maybe we need animal police to keep animals from eating each other. I mean, I don't think we need that. I think we need first and foremost people to stop exploiting innocent animals. I think you as a human being who think are better or more or superior to an animal and who thinks that they can judge, that they can tell right from wrong, that surely you can tell that exploiting an innocent animal for optional products is wrong. But yeah, my 8-hour stream starts in 2 minutes. Are you done? You should stop by. When you're done, you should stop by. Keep kicking ass, Chip, says Axel. Axel, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, Axel. If you're not following Axel, you should be following him. He's on Discord often. He does a lot of stream now. He just set up he made the whole setup and he's gonna be streaming. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool of him.
It's like a Mount Rushmore. Yeah, I'm zeroing. Oh, I do want to. No, I'm not gonna go South Dakota.
We are Apex and Superior. Oh, brother. You are not Apex. If you're talking about the trophic chain, I'm pretty sure that you don't know what your trophic level is. And if you think you're superior, you're just using the traits that you want to claim superiority. Why would you be superior over a bird, for example? Birds can fly. Can you fly? No, you cannot fly. Birds can fly freely all over the world. Can you fly freely all over the world? You cannot. So I would say that the bird is superior to you in that situation. Dogs can smell. There's dogs who can smell layers amongst the smells that they get. Like they can literally tell ingredients from a food. Can you do that? No. So then I wouldn't say you're superior to them. There's several things that animals can do that we cannot do. And if you say, yeah, but we can use our intellect to create tools to do that. Brother, do you know the story of the Roman cement? I like to tell it sometimes to people. The story of the Roman cement is that the cement that was created during the Roman Empire was an amazing cement. It lasted for years, you know. We go to Rome, we see this cement, and we're like, holy shit, how did it last for thousands of years? And nowadays, the cement that we make nowadays just erodes in like, I don't know, a year or two. So then we're like, what's going on there? And the reality is we don't know. We don't know.
Hi.
Hi. How old are you guys?
13, 12, 11.
Do you have like permission from your parents?
Yeah, they're right there.
Okay, so are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Sure. Yeah.
What are your names?
Santiago.
Santiago, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you. How about you?
Diego.
Diego. Okay, so I'm an animal rights activist. Do you know what that is?
What?
An animal rights activist.
No, I don't know what that is.
So I fight for the rights of animals.
Oh, cool.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what rights do you think they deserve?
Being able to be
I don't know.
free.
I like that. Be free. What else?
Sure. Probably not get like enclosed somewhere.
Like that also.
Sure.
So animals deserve the right to be free, right?
Yeah.
Do you think the animals that we use for food or for clothing are free?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. Do you think that the cows, the chickens, the pigs that we bring to life only to kill, are they free?
I don't know. I think it like depends, like where they are.
In what way does it depend? If they,
I mean, maybe like they're raised in like a farm and it's open and they're free.
so it's open as in they are free to roam around on that farm.
Yeah.
But can
So
they
then
go
I guess-
outside of that farm?
Yeah. So then I guess not.
Yeah, they're never free, right?
Yeah.
Would you like it to be born only for your parents to say this is your destiny, and then you are not allowed to do anything else,
No.
and then be killed at the age of 18, let's say, when you reach adulthood?
Probably not.
Probably not. This is what animals go through. This is all the
Yeah.
animals in animal agriculture. That's what we do to them. We bring them to life only to kill them. Is that fair to them?
I don't think so.
No. Do you think we need to consume any of these products?
Like need? I mean,
Not
maybe. I guess
need.
there's like something to replace it.
There are, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nowadays we don't need any of it. Maybe in the past we could have made we could have said, yeah, maybe we need it, but nowadays we don't need any of it.
Yeah.
So doesn't that make it extra unfair on the fact that we choose to do this to them?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
What would you call a person that doesn't support any of this, that does not exploit any animals?
That doesn't support them being free.
That doesn't support them being kept, them being brought to life only to be killed. That doesn't support them being treated like objects.
What do you call them? I don't know. Like,
Have you ever heard of a vegan?
Oh yeah, vegans. Oh yeah, like vegetarians and vegans. Oh,
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah,
vegetarians is a diet. It's strictly about the food.
Yeah.
Vegans, it's about the animals. It's about saying we want animals to no longer be used. Yeah, go on.
Well, vegetarians just don't eat meat. So.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh yeah, I guess vegan.
Yeah, but like take for instance dairy cows, the cows that produce milk. Why do you think cows produce milk in the first place?
Huh?
Why do you think cows produce milk in the first place?
Well, to feed their kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah. So farmers, do you think they allow them to get pregnant when they want to, or do you think they get them pregnant when they say?
They probably get them pregnant.
Yeah. If we did that to a human being, would that be nice?
No.
Yeah. And when the babies are born, what do you think is the first thing that they do to them?
Brand
Well,
them.
It's a good one. They brand them.
probably,
Yeah.
they probably give them a ton of food and get them to grow up to make them into like either make them give milk or turn them into meat.
That's a pretty good educated guess. So I would say the first thing they do is they separate them from their mother,
Oh yeah.
because if they stay with their mother, they'll drink the milk, and farmers have to control how much milk they drink. That's one thing. And yes, you're right. If they're born male, they either get grown up to adulthood, like a year or two, and then get killed, or they get killed directly because they don't produce any milk. And if they're born female, every year like their mothers, impregnated, babies stolen, exploited for milk, and at some point they also get killed. Do you know when?
Yeah.
What has to happen for them, for the farmer to kill them?
Well, like they gotta grow them to kill them, and then.
So when they can no longer get the cow pregnant, they kill them.
Oh yeah, they kill them when they can't get them pregnant.
Yeah, and that happens at like a third of their lifespan.
Yeah, they
Like
don't get-
imagine reaching the age of 30 and somebody saying, "That's it, I used you enough. You're now going
Yeah,
to be
once
killed."
yeah, pretty much once they can't get pregnant, they get killed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Isn't this extremely sad what we do to them?
yeah, probably.
Do you think they deserve better?
No, I mean no, I mean yes, I mean yes. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You're doing great. You're doing great. Yeah. So have you guys ever considered being vegan?
No.
Not really.
But now do you understand the importance of being vegan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this kind of stuff is extremely cruel to animals, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys say that you love animals? How do you feel about animals in general?
I like animals,
I like
pets.
animals.
Yeah. But do you think it's fair to say I like these animals, but these animals I'm okay with paying to be killed? Because, you know, a dog doesn't choose to be born a dog, and a cow doesn't choose to be born a cow. And yet, if one is born a dog, we say let's give them love, and if the cow is born a cow, let's say let's kill them.
Yeah.
It's not fair, is it?
No.
Oh.
Probably not fair.
Well, I like to thank you for having this conversation. You have any questions for me? I'm vegan.
No.
No? Okay.
My uncle's a vegan.
Your uncle's a vegan? Yeah, you can have a conversation with him about all of this. I'm just going to give you a card. Maybe you can watch something with your parents. I'll just give you one card for both of you, okay?
Sure.
If you scan this QR code, you also have my YouTube channel here, but if you scan this QR code, there's a thing called the most important speech lever here. That's a good one to watch, all of you, to kind of learn about eggs and everything, okay?
Okay.
If
Thank
we
you.
love animals, we got to treat them nicely, okay?
Yeah.
All of them.
Okay.
They all deserve it, okay? What's your name again?
Santiago.
Santiago, thank you. Diego, thank you for having this
Alright.
conversation with me,
Yeah.
and let's be compassionate and fair, okay?
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. I think they were a bit shy, but that's okay. They're kids, you know, at the end of the day. I was also, I guess I just educated them a little bit, right? That's it. Made them think. Yeah, that's all I wanted. I don't think, I'm not going to try and force such young kids into anything, you know. So at the end of the day, I don't think they have that much choice in the matter anyway. I think they need to kind of understand. And now they're talking to their parents about what they just talked to me. So let's see what's going on there. And their parents, hey, you guys want to try a social experiment? So maybe their parents are now going to come to me and be like, fuck you for teaching our child this. How dare you? No, they look like nice people. Flex coming down from flex. Yeah. As I said, I'm probably going to grow my muscles bigger and bigger. I don't really... They don't speak enough about the fact that when you have a lot of muscles, you also have to eat a lot, and it's not as nice, but yeah. Hey, Renee, thank you so much. Demand for vegan products at Lidl, Austria, expanded by 17% this year, and prices were dropped by 52%. Activism works. I completely agree with you. I actually went to Lidl this morning. I bought some protein bars from Lidl. They're freaking delicious. I had one before coming here, to be honest, and you're right. I do think activism works. I do think demand is dropping. I do think that people are waking up to the reality, because that's the sheer reality that we're in. And I think the thing about all of this is we need, like, animal agriculture lies to them. I think that's a big deal. That's a big deal for everyone. I think everyone kind of understands just how bad it is, for the sheer fact that animal agriculture lies, for the sheer fact that they think it's okay to exploit animals, for that sheer fact. They sell them lies. And I'm telling you the same thing if you're listening to this, you know. Be upset with these people. Fuck them. Be upset with the fact that they lie to you. Be upset with the fact that they're not transparent with you. Be upset with the fact that I have to be on the streets to tell you the truth. Be upset about that. Be upset about the fact that you think that animals live a nice life. At least be transparent. Say, hey, we don't give a shit about animals. We exploit and slaughter them to pieces. All of it just so that you get this optional product. Say that. That will save me a lot of time. But otherwise, you're lying to people. You're telling them this nonsense bullshit that we need animal products, or that you get protein from them. You do. You can get protein from any other source. Oh, it's healthy for you. Yeah, sure. No, it's not. Red meat is type 2B carcinogenic. White meat is, I think, if it's above, 200 grams per day, it increases your chances of gastrointestinal cancer. It's like, why do all of this? Why lie to everybody about it? Just be clear. Hey, we're creating a product. It's not going to be too good for you. It's fucking horrible for the environment. It's violent, abusive towards animals. And you might like the taste of it. That's it. That's the ad that they should be telling you. That's what animal agriculture should be telling you. But that's not what they're telling you. So yeah, I do think activism works, especially because of this. Because of their lack of transparency. Because it's so much easier to trust somebody who's trying to tell you the truth, who doesn't have a financial incentive in the game. Yeah, that's all. Don't forget the millions of bugs and animals that get killed by farmers, the farmers he supports. Okay, so we're talking about crop deaths now. Okay, well, I can explain to you about the millions of bugs that you think we kill. The reality is, in crop agriculture, indeed, there are bugs being killed. Not that much nowadays, by the way. Where do you think millions of bugs just come from in the same field over and over and over again? They don't. You kill them once or twice, 3 times, that's it. They come in 10% of the numbers. It's awful. It's awful that this is happening. Crop production definitely needs to improve, but that's a separate issue. And the reality is that, crop production, if you have an issue and you think animals are being killed for crop production, you vegans are such hypocrites. Well, let me tell you this. Most of the crops that we grow for food, we grow to feed the animals. We grow to feed the animals. Most of the insects, most of the animals that you claim die, actually die to create food for the animals, which are then exploited and killed for you. So yeah, if you want to reduce those numbers, if you actually care about those things that you say, then you should already be vegan, because then you would be in a better situation. Not to mention the fact that crops that are grown for the animals are usually monocrops. Because animals are fed considerably the same thing, corn or soy, or alfalfa, and they grow them consistently, the same thing over and over. And the monocrops are the ones destroying the land. The monocrops are the ones destroying the bugs. So it's even worse than that. But yeah, you just allow yourself to think whatever you want to think, because when you come up with statements like crop deaths, the reality is you're not actually interested in any argument or actually listening to logic. Hi, are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure. Hey.
What's your name?
Charles. Nice to meet
Charles, can you come? Oh, you can come? Yeah, perfect. So Charles, I'm an animal rights activist.
Yep.
I fight for the rights of animals.
Yep.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yep.
What rights do they deserve?
I don't know. I think they should be treated fairly and properly because they're still living beings, so they can think and everything like that. So.
Do you think they should have the right to not be enslaved by us?
I think they're still like food, to be honest. Like I feel like as humans we should eat. So like to an extent, as soon as they're not like, if they have more rights than us and like we can't like eat them, then I don't know.
Do you have the right to not be enslaved?
As a person?
Yeah.
I think I do.
So you don't think an animal should have the same right to not be enslaved? I'm not saying you have every right that you have. You also have right for protection.
Yeah, I think they should.
You have right to vote and everything.
I think they should have fair rights. To be honest, like when you say enslaved, are you saying like farming, or are you saying like in like those like shitty ass like chicken?
Any form of enslavement.
But
do you think farming is enslavement?
I think if they're treated fairly while being farmed, no.
So let me ask you this: do you think bringing to life an animal only to kill them, is that treating them fairly?
It's a tough question. No.
But a fraction of their lifespan of all things.
Yeah.
Like they usually killed as babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair.
It's fair, right?
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing about it, right? Because it is enslavement.
Yeah.
They are treated like properties.
Yeah.
They are treated like objects. And the fact that they have a subjective experience of the world, the fact that they feel, the fact that they don't want to die, all of this is actually a nuisance to the farmers. They don't, like most farmers don't even name their animals because they would feel bad about it.
Yeah. It's cool.
Isn't that messed up?
Yeah, I know. It's cool. It's cool to think about that.
Do you think we need to consume any animal products?
To what?
Do you think we need to consume any animal products?
Yeah, I think we should. I think it makes life a lot easier.
If it made life easier to consume human flesh, would you say we should consume human flesh?
No.
If it made life easier to consume dog flesh, would you say we should consume dog flesh?
I think some people already consume dog flesh.
But if it made life easier, do you think everybody should consume dog flesh?
No.
No. So you see, you seem to be giving the moral consideration to dogs, but all these other animals not. Can I ask why that is?
I think dogs are just like, they just seem more generalized as like actual like pets, like household pets, and I think there's a whole like that other farming industry is completely separate.
But they wouldn't be pets in this
there,
situation.
Like, yeah.
They would still be bred only to be killed for food.
Yeah, but they aren't.
Yeah, so do you think attaching this artificial label that we did, right? Attaching this artificial label and then calling them, well, you're born this way, so therefore you should be something that we give love to. And if you're born this other way, you're something that we should exploit and kill. Do you think that's fair?
No.
No, because none of them chose this label for them, right? Do you think a dog chooses to be born a dog or a cow chooses to be born a cow?
Nope.
No. So then, part of all this thing, do you consider yourself a fair person?
Yeah, I think I do.
Do you think a fair person would pay for such an unfair system, knowing that they have the option not to?
When you say pay, like you mean like buy meat and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, like support it in whatever way. Buy meat, buy eggs, buy dairy, all of it.
Yeah, I mean like
Are you saying this because you want to believe that about yourself, or do you actually think that a fair person would pay for a system that is inherently unfair, even though they have an option not to?
I don't really know, to be honest. Like I'm pretty young. I'm only like 15, so I don't really buy any food. I eat a lot of meat, to be honest, but I don't really buy any of it.
Are you being forced to eat anything?
Yeah, every day, force fed.
You're force fed every day? Are you honest? I don't think you're honest.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
a museum tier, but
Yeah, but if you're not force fed, you do still make choices, don't you?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could always make better choices. Let me just give you a card, okay, before you go, and I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Just scan this QR code and watch the minion, okay?
Sweet, thank you. Have a good
Promise
day.
me you'll watch that?
I will.
Thank you. Cheers. Okay. We might move. Yet again, the sun is coming, and I think there's no more clouds. It's also incredibly crowded over here, so it's probably going to be difficult. That was a quick one. Yeah, it was a quick one, but... Hey, Marcel, how are you?
Hi. Nice wind today, isn't it?
You think this is nice? It's too hot, man.
Well, where are you from?
I mean, I'll give you this. It's way hotter in Romania, but the sun is horrible. Eh,
Dutch, so I like
you're
it.
Dutch, so you like it. How are you gonna feel it when it's gonna be like 35 degrees on
Oh,
Tuesday?
then I'm gonna stay indoors.
Yeah,
Just
nice.
downstairs, indoors.
Yeah,
Yeah, well.
I get it.
But 25 till 30, that's fine by me.
Until 30, okay, that's your limit. For me, 25 is my limit. So
Alright.
there you go. That's Marcel. He's one of the activists. It's crazy. These people think an industrial machine killing animals is worse than fox ripping its guts out while half dead. Liam Findley, that's actually what do you call it? A false equivalence fallacy, because you're assuming that the choice for animals is to either be eaten by a wild animal or killed by us. The reality is most animals do not die out of predation. There aren't that many predators. A lot of animals just simply die out of older age or starvation or whatever. They don't die out of predation. So if you think that's the case, that cows would otherwise die, that's not true. That's not true.
Take one. Pour one?
Yeah, you can take this one actually.
Yeah. Go for it. Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, thank you so much, Belasi PT3521. I'm sorry, YouTube doesn't show names anymore. Yeah, so thinking that those are your only two choices, that is kind of insane. Plus, I'm pretty clear that the option... Yeah, hi.
I can be part of this.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Okay.
What's your name?
My name is Catalina.
Catalina, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Hi.
It's a live. It's a live. Hello.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
No.
Yes,
don't worry.
totally perfect. We love Amsterdam.
From TikTok or from Instagram?
TikTok.
It's YouTube.
Ah,
YouTube.
How many people?
Yes,
How many
social
are
experiment,
you?
social experiment.
Oh, okay.
Like 100 something. I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yes.
Yes.
What rights do they deserve?
Like the right to live with enough conditions to survive, like in terms of food, like their basic necessities, like also personal stimulation. ¿Yo qué he dicho?
Necessity.
Needs. And yes, but I don't defend, for example, that they have a soul.
Okay. Do you think they should have the right to not be enslaved by us?
Yes.
Yes.
But for example, I believe that having a dog is not saving an animal.
Okay.
That might be seen like that, and it's not.
What about bringing to life animals, keeping them on your property, and killing them because you want to? Is that a form of slavery?
I don't think that's a form of slavery, because in the end, it's also like human supervivience. Like we need to eat. So if we go and hunt in,
As well as a fish
Like,
eats
it's the
another
same.
fish.
Do we
Yes.
need to eat animals?
I believe that we do.
So
We
what
need
would
a
convince you that
diet,
we
a
don't?
balanced diet in general, so we cannot only eat vegetables.
What would convince you that we don't need to eat animals?
That we
Anything.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't think anything, but
Nothing
because
will
I don't
convince
find
you?
it natural or like that.
So are
it
you
will
a
be-
zealot about this position? Are you like, nothing can convince me that I'm
No,
wrong?
like I'm open to new perspectives, but I don't think it will totally change my vision right now.
Okay. So
No, but as for example, a lion
scientific
eats a
evidence,
zebra.
scientific evidence that we can thrive on a plant-based diet. Me being a certified nutritionist, the largest nutritionist and dietitians organizations on the planet saying that we can thrive on a plant-based diet. Does none of this convince you that we don't need to consume animal products?
Like I believe that we are part of the life cycle, so
But before that, does this convince you that we don't need to consume animal products?
like I don't think we don't need. I agree with you in that, but I think that it's part of nature and that what we need to do is not like overconsume.
Do you think farms
meat.
are part of nature?
No, but hunting, yes, so it's almost the same. Like, it's a way that humans have to nourish themselves, and it's part of the life cycle for
So we
us
should do
to
this
eat.
to dogs.
Excuse me?
So we should bring to life dogs to kill them and eat them.
No, I
Wait,
believe
what do you
that.
mean? It's nature.
No,
Just
but
that.
no, what I'm saying, what she's saying is like it's a need, but it's true that right now there's
It's
an
not a need.
overconsumption of killing animals and maybe even for entertainment. But
So how many animals should we kill until we say it's too much? For something that we don't need.
I don't think it's an until. I think that the limit is when you find it a pleasure instead of something
a
to
need.
survive in a balanced
a
diet.
basic need for survival.
So if it's not a need, then it's wrong to consume animals.
Yes, but on the other hand, if we are not part of the life cycle, the
What
like
life
the,
cycle?
the life cycle of like the traffic chains.
Do you think farming is part of the traffic chain?
No, but hunting, for example, it is.
But you keep talking about hunting. I don't think you consume any products coming out of hunting, do you?
No, but that's what I mean. That maybe like this vision of out like
We can talk about
self-providing.
hunting. We can talk about hunting if you want, but let's finish this area where, with the situation that you're in, right? Because when people are talking about hunting, I can talk to them about it, which situation they're in. But if you're in a situation where you don't need to consume animal products, you go into a supermarket, you pick up an animal product, you could always just pick a plant-based product, right? When you choose to pick an animal product, you choose for an animal to be exploited and slaughtered for you. So shouldn't these animals have the same rights we give to a dog? Or why is it that a dog deserves more rights than them?
I understand your argument. However, I believe that it is a need to. I
So
understand
what
that
would
it's not
convince you that it's
fair.
not a need?
Nothing.
Nothing. So science does not convince you.
No, but I think that it's nature. Like since I don't know, the prehistory, we have been surviving like that, and that's part of nature.
Wait. Would you say that the same thing applies just 100 years ago, since the start of nature, since the start of humanity, women didn't have rights? Should we have not given women rights because it was being done for hundreds of years, for thousands of years?
Sorry, is that we are like on tourism and we have to go. But I really love this.
I'm trying to understand because like this is extremely violent, extremely unfair, and you seem to think that only some animals deserve it. And like it's like me saying only some humans deserve rights, women don't. It's exactly the same thing. You draw an arbitrary line. A cow doesn't choose to be born a cow, a dog doesn't choose to be born a dog. Yet you seem to think one deserves rights, one doesn't.
No, I agree with you in that.
Let me just give you a card before you go, okay?
Okay.
I'll give you one card for both, and
Thank you.
just scan this QR code and watch the Minion, okay?
Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Have a good one. I knew nothing was gonna come up. I knew nothing was gonna come out of that, but yeah, you know. Let me see. Let me ask this girl if I can stay there in the shade. It's nicer there. Hi, do you mind if I sit here in the shade? Okay. Yeah, I can't sit over there because there's all the other animal rights activists over there. So I might need to move, but let's see. We've been here for 54 minutes. I'm already... Yeah. Yes, Chip, stay hydrated. Oh, good one. Thank you for reminding me to stay hydrated. Yes. Oh, thank fucking God. The sun is going into a cloud. They just wanted the camera. Yeah, I know. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
What?
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure.
Where are your parents?
Oh, they're over there.
Do they consent to having a conversation with me and being on my channel? Because I don't want to.
Oh,
Let's see if they're allowed. Stay hydrated. Also have a small pinch of salt every now and again. We'll see as long as we do it. We'll see as long as we do it, you know. All good?
Yep.
You want to be here in view?
Sure.
What's your name?
Cristobal.
Cristobal?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Cristobal. How about you?
I'm Natalie.
Natalie. Okay. So, I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. What do you guys think about animals?
Well,
They're
they're a pretty
animal.
important part of the world.
They're a pretty
Yeah.
important part of the world. Do you think they deserve rights?
Yes.
Yeah.
What rights do they deserve?
I mean, they
Food,
they
healthy
shouldn't
life,
really like suffer.
and no suffering.
Okay. Do you think they deserve the right to live their life how they want to?
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
say.
Depends on what animal.
Do you think
Like-
you deserve that right?
Yeah.
Do you think you deserve that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then why does it depend on animal?
Because like if there's a lion and he wants to attack people on the street, then no.
I see what you mean. So if they're causing harm to others, they shouldn't be allowed to do it.
I mean, to animals in the wild, yes, but if not, no.
To animals in the wild, okay.
Yeah, because it's their nature.
Okay, okay. So, do you think that all animals deserve this right to live free or to not be, to live their life how they want to live? Or do you think, like as you said, let's imagine a case where they're not actually harming anybody.
Yeah.
Do you think they all deserve the same right to live how they want to live?
Yeah.
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 Do you think that the animals, and a lot of the times we forget about these animals, the animals that we use in animal agriculture, the cows, the
Yes.
chickens, the pigs, do you think they are granted this right?
No, not really.
Not really. But do you think they deserve it?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that it's fair for us to bring them to life only to kill them?
No.
No. So, do you think we need to do any of this to them? Do you think we need to have animal agriculture?
Depends if you have.
I mean, I really like meat, so. I mean, if you're just gonna throw it away, then no. But if you're actually gonna eat it, yeah.
If you have the option to feed off something else, then sure. But if it's
Maybe
really
they
like,
should be treated like A5 Wagyu cows, that they massage them and then they do a lot of things to them and then, yeah, they eat them.
But is it fair to use them knowing that we don't need to? Like, we don't need to consume any animal products. We don't need to have animal agriculture. So we choose to. You say you like the taste of meat.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be fair to just take their life because you like the taste of their flesh?
No.
Like, let me put it this way. I'm assuming you wouldn't do that to dogs, right?
No.
No. Do you think that
That's
do you think that if we bring a dog to life, we treat them exactly how we treat cows or chickens and then we kill them, do you think it's okay?
No.
No. But then why would it be okay for these other animals?
Because they're food.
What do you mean therefore? Do you think the label of food, we assigned that to them, didn't we?
Yeah.
If I assign a label to you, is that fair? If that label is oppressive towards you, that means if it's violent or bad towards you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
So if I say that you are food and
No,
somebody
that's
is
not
gonna
good.
come and kill you, is it fair?
No.
No. Did you choose to be a label to assign that label?
No.
No. So did they choose to be assigned that label?
No.
No. So then I ask you again, is it fair to treat them that way?
No.
No. So do you think a cow chooses to be born a cow?
No.
A dog chooses to be born a dog?
No.
And yet we seem to think that if you're born a dog, we give them love. If you're born a cow, we kill them, right? Is it
Well,
fair?
not exactly. It's not fair.
It's not fair, yeah. Why do you think all of this is happening in the first place?
Because of me and you and every people.
Exactly, because people demand it, because people ask for it, because people pay for it, correct?
Yeah.
What would you call a person that doesn't pay for any of this?
Thief.
Say it again.
A thief.
Somebody who does not pay, he still doesn't consume animal products. He still doesn't use animals. He respects somebody who respects animals.
vegan?
Exactly. Well done. A vegan.
Yeah.
Have you guys considered being vegan?
No.
No? Do you not like the idea of respecting animals, or why?
I mean, I do, but I don't know.
I mean, I heard that meat was there for like the nutrients.
We don't need any of it. So I'm a certified nutritionist. There's plenty of science nowadays. The largest organizations of nutritionists and dietitians on the planet say that we don't need to consume any animal products. So knowing that we don't need to do any of it, doesn't that make it incredibly cruel?
I mean, yes.
Yeah. So then, what would, like, let me put it this way: what would make you consider the lives of these animals?
Well, consider.
Yeah, like what would make you think, I don't want to pay for animals to be killed anymore. I don't want to pay for animals to be treated like objects.
I still don't understand.
Say it again.
I don't understand.
So it's, as you explained, as I asked you, right? The reason why this is happening is because people pay for this. So my question is, what would convince you to not be part of it? What would you say, if you think about it a little bit, what would convince you to not say, I want to continue consuming animal products? I want to continue eating meat. I want to continue eating eggs,
Like being
knowing that it's
gentle to
violent
animals.
behind it.
Being gentle to animals.
Being gentle to animals.
Yeah.
Is that what would convince you? If they were gentle to animals?
No, if animals like were nice to me and didn't kill people, because some of them kill people.
I don't think cows, chickens, or pigs kill people, do
No, some cows do kill people with farts.
they? Some cows kill people with farts?
Yeah.
How do you figure that?
I don't know, I saw it on the internet.
No, that's not true. So normally cows produce methane, which warms up the atmosphere, but that's not through farts, that's through burps. And that's another reason why we shouldn't bring them to life only to kill them, huh? Because if we didn't have animal agriculture, we also wouldn't have so many cows.
Yeah.
Right? Because we control the breeding process. We bring them to life only to kill them. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like what happens to them? Have you ever seen footage
Yes,
of what
I
they
have
go through?
seen.
No, because I'm
They
it gives me
it's
the
very
ick.
cramped. They feed them up.
I've never seen them because they're just, I don't like it.
You
It
don't
just
like
looks
seeing
very tragic, and I don't know.
Yeah. Then don't you think that if you have this emotion towards it where it feels very tragic to you, that perhaps you shouldn't be supporting it? Right? I'm just saying, if your body is saying no, then do you want to say no to your body and be like, I don't want to think about it, I just want to buy this product, I just want to see the clean product? Don't you think we should consider the whole thing when we, like, because these are victims of our choices, right? When we buy an animal product, an animal becomes a victim of our choice. Don't you think we should consider the whole thing, the victims also involved in the situation?
Yes. Yeah.
Because not long ago in our society, we didn't consider females, women, we didn't consider women. We didn't have rights. Not long ago, individuals of a different race didn't have rights.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, because we didn't consider them, because we said we get benefit from it, why would we ever consider them? Don't you think we should then extend all of these rights that we've given to all humans, also to the animals, since they as well feel, they as well have emotions, they as well want to have a family, they as well want to feel love?
Yep.
Yeah. Let me just give you a card. I appreciate the conversation with me. I'll give you one card for both of you, okay? So if you scan this QR code, there's a video there called The Most Important Speech You'll Ever Hear. It's not awful. It's just a guy holding, having a speech. I think you might enjoy it. Are you the father?
Yeah, the father. No, I was vegetarian. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you'll also learn what the dairy cows go through and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. I appreciate you. Let's be kind to all animals, right? All of them deserve it, and we want to live in a world where we're fair. If this is unfair to animals, let's not support a system that is unfair to them. Okay. Appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. My sign was taken away from me. I'll go retrieve it, everybody. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to take this sign.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, unacceptable, unacceptable. Okay. Oh, I asked people some questions, get them to think a little bit. You guys want to try it?
You
I
want
think
to
our shrinks over here. I don't think you want
Okay.
to talk.
Okay.
Come, you listen to my answers.
You want to try it?
Yeah, sure.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
What's your channel? I should.
I'll give you a card
Okay,
afterwards.
okay.
What's your name?
I'm Toto.
Toto. Nice to meet you. I'm Chip.
Nice to
So,
meet you, Chip.
I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for
Animal
the
rights activist. Okay.
I fight for the rights of animals.
Okay.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
I do.
What rights do you think they deserve?
Everything less almost humans have. Like they need freedom, they need food, they need to be taken care of, they need to be loved. So essentially very similar to what humans.
Do you think they should have the right to not be enslaved by us?
I completely agree. My father worked in the forest department in India and he believed in natural animals.
Yeah. So do you think that then when we buy an animal product, let's say like something
Oh,
milk,
for product.
cheese, eggs,
Okay.
meat, do you think any of these animals are enslaved?
That's a difficult question because if you see the cycle of life, animals eat animals. You know that's how.
Do animals enslave animals?
No, but you're talking about food, right?
Optional food.
So optional food, but animals eat animals, like in the wild.
Animals also rape animals.
Yes.
Should we rape animals?
I don't agree with that rape part.
So why would we then choose this one thing that animals do and say that it's okay to do because other animals do it, but then not
Because
not allow everything?
humans have evolved much more, so we have
So
a
then-
choice. We can make choices. We can do things, right?
So if we have choices and we can do things, then don't you think it would be only fair to choose to no longer enslave animals,
I
exploit
agree
them
on
and kill
slave,
them?
but how are you defining enslaving?
I would say bringing them to life, only to use them and then kill them is
Okay,
pretty
not
textbook.
domesticating them. That you don't count as enslaving.
What do you mean by domesticating them?
Someone has a dog at home or a cat at home. That's
Depends.
not-
They could also be slaves, yeah.
Depending on how they're
depending
treated.
on how they're treated. If they're treated like property, yes, then they are pretty much slaves.
Okay.
But all these other animals in animal agriculture, they're 100% slaves because they are brought to life only to
Just
be
to be
used
killed.
and then killed. Yeah.
Yes, for humans.
Exactly. And they're basically disregarded. Any form of individuality that they have, any will that they have is disregarded.
I agree, but I think it's becoming a manufacturing
Yeah.
process. So essentially, they're just brought to life to be killed.
Exactly.
I think while they're alive, they should have a good life. But
How
I
about
also-
we don't do any of it to them?
Any of what?
Don't bringing them to life to kill them. We stop from the beginning.
I'm okay with that.
You're okay with
Yeah,
that? What would you call a person that doesn't support any of this?
I mean, it's their choice. Everyone has their own choice.
Sure,
so I
but-
wouldn't call a person. I mean, I wouldn't talk to them.
No,
I
but
mean,
there's a term of a person who does not support the bringing to life of animals for exploitation and killing.
I don't know the term.
A vegan.
Oh, vegan. Okay.
Yeah. So a vegan is a person who rejects the idea that animals should be treated like objects and killed for us, of course.
Yeah, but I'm not ready to be a vegan. I'll be honest with you. I still like meat and chicken and fish. Okay, but the way it is treated perhaps could be changed.
But let me understand. So, do you think it's more important what you like or what they go through?
I think both matter.
Both matter.
Both matter.
So do you think it's more important when it comes to oppression, which is literally what we do to them? Do you think it's important that we consider the feeling of the oppressor? So let's take it for instance, if I want to enslave certain humans, and I like it, I get benefit from it. Should what I want matter, or should what the
That's
humans?
happening in the world today.
But should what I want matter, or should the humans being oppressed matter also?
No, I don't think anyone should be oppressed.
Yeah.
I think the people should have a choice, whether it's humans or animals. They both should have choice.
But you think that, but when you
But it doesn't mean that animals can't be brought up well, so that it can be food.
But do you think they
for
have a
the table.
choice to not be food?
They don't have any choices. We make choices for them.
But you just said just now that you think that they should have choices, right?
They should have choices.
So don't you think that this goes directly against the fact that when you consume animal products and you buy animal products,
I don't think it
you
is
are-
that direct. I think if they are brought up well they shouldn't be, in cages, tied up, just to be
Why would
brought
that
up
be
for
bad?
food. Okay?
Why would that be bad?
Because they need a life to live as well. We all die.
They get killed. Take
We
for
all
instance
we
chickens.
will all die.
So
right?
chickens can live 10 years. What age do you think chickens are killed at?
I don't have an idea on that.
42 days.
Okay.
Do you think it matters whether in those 42 days we give them a big cage or a small cage?
Maybe it does.
Maybe it does, but don't you think knowing that we don't need to do any of it, wouldn't it be better if we don't bring them to life to kill them as infants at 42 days old?
I think food chain is also important. So it is no black and white.
What do you mean by food chain?
people want to eat chickens, they want to eat meat.
So
And
people
that's
who
all.
want to eat dogs should be allowed to eat dogs.
That happens in China.
So
People eat dogs in China.
So people
right?
who want to eat
So
dogs
it
should be
is-
allowed to eat dogs.
Choices should be on both sides, right?
So people who want to eat dogs should be allowed to eat
They can
dogs.
eat whatever they want.
So people who want to eat people should be allowed to eat other humans.
If they want to.
If they
but
want
there,
to.
there are laws
So
against
would you
it.
be
right?
okay? Would you be okay then? Because if you're saying this, then essentially what you're essentially saying is that
But there are laws against it, right? So you
What
can't
you're-
just
what
eat
you're
people.
essentially-
So there is laws about killing people and
sure.
other things. So
but
there
you
are
know
not
Jeffrey,
laws against.
You know who Jeffrey Dahmer was?
No.
So Jeffrey Dahmer was a person who killed and ate humans. Are you saying that what Jeffrey Dahmer did was okay?
In my opinion, no.
But your
Oh.
opinion says that if
But
somebody
people
wants,
should have choices.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
if
I want.
you're saying that people should have the choice to kill and eat others, so in your opinion, then it should be that what he did was okay, because
no,
he
I'm
just
not saying
expressed his
people should
opinion.
have the choice to kill others and things. All I'm saying people should have the choice. And you put in my mouth that people can kill people to eat them.
I asked you. I
Okay?
didn't put it in your
No, I
mouth.
don't agree with that, but there are laws.
So you
to
don't think
prevent.
people should have the choice to kill other humans?
People should not kill anyone. No one should kill anyone, in my mind.
Okay. So what
Okay,
about
to be
animals
honest,
then?
Okay, and in terms first humans, and there's a lot of killing happening. Sorry. Okay, so there's a lot of killing happening in the world. You know that.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with. I don't. I believe they
But
should
people
not
should
be
have
war.
the choice.
Choice of killing.
Yeah.
That's how they're executing now. Putin is killing someone.
But that's
Israel is
essentially
killing
what you're
Jews.
saying also. It's just that
They're having the choice and making use of it.
no, but what you're defending, you're saying people should have the choice to kill innocent animals. But if it comes to innocent people, no, they should not have that choice. But innocent animals, it's all okay.
It
And
is
yet you
okay.
didn't choose to be born human, and an animal didn't choose to be born an animal.
Yes,
but,
but
if you were
also
born an animal,
it-
all of a sudden
if you see the cycle of life, animals eat animals, right? So it's a cycle. We are also in a
But
way
we've
animals,
already
right?
been through that,
Yeah,
haven't
so
we?
we are also animals who will eat other animals.
But we don't need to.
So we don't. You don't.
This
you
is
have
not
the
part
choice
of
to
any
don't.
cycle. This is animals that we bring
Let
to
me put
life
it
only
this
to
way.
kill
You have
them.
a choice of not eating. If you want to eat, you can eat. Right?
So
if
you have-
want,
so the same
I
for
will
humans,
eat. I
right?
will continue
The
to
same
eat
for humans.
chickens. I will not eat humans because I'm not interested in
Why not?
eating it.
Oh, because now you're not
I'm not
interested.
interested.
But would it be
But I will
would it
eat
be
chickens.
moral for somebody to kill and eat humans?
It is not moral to kill any humans.
Why is it moral to kill and eat animals then?
That's a good question, right? Because I think for human there are laws that
Do you
prevent
think-
you from
Do you
killing,
think
and there are
legality
consequences.
defines morality?
No. So let me put it this way: there are consequences of killing humans.
What if there weren't?
Right? I'm sure in the older ages people killed humans.
So if there are no consequences, then you would be okay with killing and eating
I'm
humans?
not okay with killing any humans at all.
So
At
then let
all.
me ask you,
Zero.
what is the difference between a human being and an animal that makes it okay to kill one for optional food but not the other?
Well, I think humans are more evolved. Okay,
We're all just as evolved because the
Okay.
evolution is just a period of time.
The evolution of animals is much lower than humans. That's why
No,
we're
it's the
talking
exact
to each
same
other.
level of evolution.
Depending on how
Do
you
you mean that
define
we're
it.
more intelligent? What do you mean?
Yes, I think they've evolved over time.
So
Humans
if we
have
find a
evolved-
human being with the intelligence of an animal, would it be okay to exploit and kill them?
No, I think you keep getting at killing humans. I have told you, I don't agree.
I just try to
don't
understand
agree,
from your
but
perspective.
people need to have choices in terms of what they want to eat.
Yeah,
And
they
for
should all
me,
be allowed to eat humans.
if they want to, they can. People are killing
so
humans.
you're saying
right?
so you're saying that
I'm not
people
saying
should be
humans-
allowed to eat humans,
People should have choices.
to eat humans.
No. Why are you sticking to humans? I don't understand.
Because that's
why.
the only thing that you seem. That's the only individual
No.
who you seem to respect the rights
in
of.
my
any
mind,
animal you say if somebody wants to
in
kill
my
and eat an
mind,
innocent animal,
humans should have
should
no
be allowed
war.
to.
There should be peace. In my mind, okay, that's how.
so
what I
why do you
believe
pay
in.
for violence then?
I don't pay for any violence.
Do you think slashing the
In
throat
fact,
of
in-
innocent animals is not violent?
So you
Hold this for
paying
a second.
taxes? Okay, so let me put it this way.
Hold this for a second.
No, I need to go. You paying taxes means you're supporting a government that is.
Do I have a choice?
You don't have much of a choice.
So I have to pay taxes. Do you have to pay for this?
I don't. Have
Is
to
this
pay
not
for it.
violent?
This is violent.
You pay for it. Is this violent?
This is violent.
You pay for it. You want me to show you more? What else do you eat? Is this violent?
Yeah, these are all violent.
This is all that you think
But
that you pay for.
things can be done a little more humanly. That's all I'm saying. We have different opinions.
Is this
but I
violent?
will continue to eat my chicken.
So you
You're
think
calling-
killing somebody for optional products is not violent?
Not human beings, I'm telling you. You keep going
You
back
think
to
animals
humans.
are not a somebody?
They are somebody, but
So do you
they're
think
part of
killing
the food
somebody
chain.
for optional
They're
products
part
is
of the
not
food chain.
violent? So you want to keep supporting violence?
I support eating.
You support violence. You support violence.
That's fine. If you support that.
What a piece of shit. Sorry, I don't mean to be a dick, but I really didn't like this person. I really didn't like him at all. I'm just asking people some questions, getting them to think a little bit. You want to try it?
Yeah, sure.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Sure.
What's your name?
My name's Elle.
Elle?
With an exclamation mark.
Say it again.
Elle with an exclamation mark.
L with an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
I love that. I
Thank
love
you.
that. L with an exclamation mark. So L.
Yeah.
I'm an animal rights activist. I'm Chip, by the way. That's my name. I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals.
Good.
Do you think that animals deserve rights?
Yeah, totally.
What rights do you think they deserve?
Well, I definitely think that they deserve freedom.
Love it.
And I think that they should be able to, in some form, advocate for themselves. And they should be able to, not have to be neutered. Because I feel like it's kind of cruel to take away their opportunity to have little kitties.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Do you think this applies to all animals or only the animals that we like?
All animals.
All animals. So including the animals in animal agriculture?
I think so, yeah.
Cows, chickens, pigs?
Yeah.
Are you vegan?
No.
No. So do you think that then when you're paying for an animal product, do you think you're infringing on the right of an animal to be free, to choose for their own life or anything?
No, probably not.
You're not infringing on that right?
Probably not, no.
No. Do you think that the cow has freedom?
Well, it depends on the company. Some cows, they just get to live out their full lives, and then when they die of old age. But then other places, they just give the cow a lot of products that make it taste good later on, and then they kill it. When
Do you
it's
think
not
there's
like
any cows who live to old age
I feel like there are some, maybe.
in animal agriculture?
Maybe.
No.
No?
No. Do you know what age they killed at?
No, I don't.
So of dairy cows, the cows that produce milk are killed around 7 to 8 years old, and they can live 24, 25 years.
Why would you kill them if they make milk?
I'll explain. So why do you think they produce milk in the first place?
To feed their children.
Exactly. So what farmers do is they forcefully impregnate them because they don't just wait until they get pregnant when they want to have one.
Yeah.
Right? They forcefully impregnate them every year repeatedly so that they can have a baby and then they produce milk. When the baby is born, what do you think they do to them?
They maybe give the baby a little bit of milk and then take some milk for themselves.
That's exactly the intent. They separate them because if they stay with their mother, they would drink more milk than they can control.
Yeah.
So they separate them from their mothers, and I would say that's already messed up if you ask me.
Yeah.
If they're born male, they don't produce milk. So what do you think happens to them?
They kill them.
Exactly. And if they're born female, as I said, every year impregnated, every year it's baby taken, and every year exploited for milk. And at the age of 8, they kill them. Do you know why they kill them?
No.
Because they can no longer get them pregnant.
Oh, that's messed up.
It's messed up, right?
A mother should be able to live with her child as long as she wants.
The sad part is no individual, no body was made to be impregnated repeatedly 6 to 8 times. A cow will give birth normally 3 to 4 times throughout their life at maximum. So the fact that we repeat them every year, we repeatedly inseminate them. Obviously, at some point, it's just not going to work anymore because that their body wasn't made for that.
That'd be kind of exhausting.
It is very, like a lot of the times, the ones who reach the age of 7 or 8 cannot even stand on their legs anymore. They have to use a crane. It's very, very ugly. Yeah. Do you think that, is this any resemblance of respecting the rights of animals?
No.
No. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just dairy products. When it comes to eggs, to meat, it all just blends together like it's all horrible.
I've never thought about that.
Well, I appreciate you listening. You know, there's not a lot of people listening to this. L with an exclamation mark. I love this about you. Yeah. So what would you call a person that does not support any of this?
I have no idea.
A vegan.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a vegan is not about the diet, it's about the animals. It's like what the feminist is to women, a vegan is to animals. It's essentially saying we need to respect their rights.
Do you think everyone should be a vegan?
I think everybody should be a vegan, everybody should be a feminist, everybody should respect the rights of LGBTQ.
Yes.
We need, like, I think it's as you should be allowed to be who and however you want to be, as long as there is consent and as long as there's no harm being done. Everybody should be allowed to be themselves and however they are. And this goes for animals also. In my
It was a ladybug.
yeah, ladybugs love me. Oh, there she is.
Oh, hello.
They
Is
ran
it on
away.
my ear?
No.
Okay.
Oh, they're on you. Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
They ran away.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, there you go. Ladybugs love us. Okay. So, have you ever considered being vegan yourself?
I don't know. I've tried some vegan meats that are like made by other, not real meat, obviously.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good.
Pretty good, right?
Maybe I'd think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna give you one hard question, and it's the last hard question. Okay. How many more animals should be exploited, treated like objects, and used for you until you make a change? Just tell me what you want.
I would want none.
None.
But if I'm actually being honest, probably like maybe 5 in the next 10 years. I don't know how much I eat. My family doesn't eat meat that often, but when we do, it's like steak and bacon.
What do you think you have to bacon? Let's take bacon for example. Do you know how pigs are killed?
No.
Where are you from, by the way?
Bainbridge Island, Seattle.
Say it again.
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. Okay, yeah, that happens in U.S. for sure.
Yeah.
So, in Western countries, pigs are put in gas chambers.
Oh.
Yeah, so they asphyxiate and then they put a knife to their throat and that's the final blow. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's how pigs get killed. So when you buy bacon, you're paying for an animal to go into a gas chamber.
I don't like that.
No. In fact, the Holocaust of the Jewish people in the World War II was inspired by what we do to animals.
Oh, it's horrible.
It is, yeah. And the sad reality is that we kept doing this to them and we stopped for humans. It's good that we stopped for humans, but we should stop for everybody. Yeah, so do you think that you can make different choices than your family does?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you can. So even if your family wouldn't want to be vegan, wouldn't want to stop participating in this, you can still make that choice.
My family, we really want to be like friendly to animals, and we try not to eat a lot of meat.
Yeah.
It's just like on occasion, but even then it has an impact.
It does, because if you're that one animal that goes into a slaughterhouse, you don't really care that the people who chose for you are doing it once a week or once a year.
Yeah.
You just care that they did that one time, right?
Yeah.
Where you entered that slaughterhouse. Because we have to consider also the victim's perspective, don't we?
Yeah. What's your favorite animal, though?
My favorite animal?
Yeah.
I really like chickens. I like birds in general.
Oh, yeah.
I like birds in general. I'm a birds person, but dogs, I guess, if I would say, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your favorite animal?
A panda.
Panda?
Not the red pandas. They steal all the glory from the actual pandas.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone loves red pandas, but the actual black and white pandas are the real pandas.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm very
cute.
passionate
They're
about
cute.
that.
I love it. I love it. I love the passion. Well, do you think a panda chooses to be born a panda?
I don't know. Well, it's kind of made that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're born that way. Do you
Yeah.
think a cow chooses to be born a cow?
No.
No. Yet, we treat them so differently, right?
Yeah.
You even have a different opinion based on what should happen to them, and yet they were just born that way.
Yeah. I would never eat a panda, but how is it okay to eat like a pig or a cow?
Have you ever questioned why that is? Because if you think from their perspective, again, they didn't choose to be born that way,
Yeah.
did they?
Huh. Just shows to go how different everything is.
Yeah, the sad reality is like we did with women for hundreds of years, like we did with other races for hundreds of years. We create societies where we attach labels to individuals from the outside. Those individuals never chose those labels, like we do to cows. We call them food. We call them animals that we can eat, we can kill, we can do whatever. And I think we should stop. We stopped for a lot of humans, and I think we should stop also for animals because they deserve to live also.
I have a question about cows.
Sure.
Is it true that when they fart, they release gas?
I mean, not as much as any other human being, I would guess. But the methane usually comes from the burping, not from the gas, from the farts.
Okay,
yeah, it's the burps that give the methane thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me give you a card.
Okay.
scan this QR code, and I think you will really enjoy the most important speech you'll ever hear. The minion shows everything that animals go through, but it's pretty gruesome. I don't know if you want to watch that.
Oh yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, then watch the minion. Watch the minion.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You promise me you'll watch that?
I promise.
Okay, I appreciate you, Elle, with the
Yeah.
question mark. You also have my YouTube channel there.
Yep.
I think you're such an open mind. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 12. I'm turning 13 in a couple weeks though.
You seem like such an open-minded person.
Thank you.
I don't see a lot of that, and I tell people who I see open-minded, you have a bit more of a responsibility to act, especially on issues like this, because while the majority of people will always have this view of certain individuals like cows, certain individuals like chickens, but they'll just say they're just food. We don't need to care about them. It's individuals like you, individuals like me, who actually eventually make a change also for these individuals.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
watch that video and make a change. Okay.
Yep. And that's my cousin doing the same interview, I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. I appreciate you. I loved her. L with a question mark. She was awesome. L with a question mark. I'm gonna move a little bit, everybody. I just can't anymore. It's too hot. Hello, Chip. Hello, Keisha. Nice to see you here. I just can't anymore. I have to move. It's too freaking hot. Give me 1 second. Sorry, my phone got overheated. I'm sorry, everyone. Sorry. My phone got overheated, so unfortunately. Can you guys hear me? Oh, we're back, yeah. Sorry, everyone. My phone got overheated, even with a cap on. Still overheating. It's that hot today, sadly. Yeah. Chip is back, yeah. Sorry, everybody. That can happen. Sound issue? Sound issue. Okay, let me see. Sorry, everybody. I'm back. Sorry, everybody. I'm back. Sorry, sound issue. I'm back. Can you guys hear me okay now? Sound fine, yes, perfect. Still buffering. Sorry. It's a really hot day. Sound good? Yes. Sorry, everybody. It's a really hot day. I really enjoyed the conversation with L with a question mark. That was a really good one. The conversation we just had before. My phone overheated. Then the sound wasn't working. That all was a little bit shitty, but that's okay. It's good now, and let's see. Maybe we're gonna have. You guys want to try a social experiment? Maybe we're gonna have some conversations. I'm in the shade now. Do you use mobile data to stream? Yes, of course I use mobile data. Yes, I have unlimited data plan. I didn't used to have unlimited data plan. When I started doing live outreach, I was just buying a little bit of data every time before the stream. But then I realized it's so much cheaper to just get unlimited. I have a plan here in the cheapest network in Netherlands, and it's, I don't know, like 40 euros per month, something like that, which is pretty good, I would say. And it's unlimited. I also get unlimited in the US with it. So, and I get free, was it Netflix or something? I don't know, one of those I get for free. So I thought, you know what, if I just cancel and subscribe with that, it works somehow. Anyway. Killing bugs is usually self-defense or home defense. Yes, try not to kill, but the same situation as taking animals captive and harming them for the guy who asked. Yeah, nice. Yeah, everyone, sorry, it's you lost me for a second there. I was really happy with the conversation I had with Elle with the question mark. I was really happy with that conversation. She listened. She was an awesome person. I think actually I might cut that conversation out because I just really appreciated the way she interacted with the whole thing. She was really cool. Hi. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Sorry?
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
It's okay.
Can you come here, send it to me? Nice. What's your name?
Susan.
Susan, nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Where are you from?
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
The south.
Okay. So, Susan, I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yes, sure.
What rights do you think they deserve?
To be free.
To be free?
Yes.
That's a good one. Okay, well, I appreciate that. Do you think all animals deserve that right, or only the ones that we like?
No, all animals.
All animals deserve
Yes.
that right. Are you vegan?
No.
No. Do you think that the animals that you buy, that are exploited and killed for you for the products that you buy, do you think those animals are free?
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
So if you think that animals should have the right to be free, and yet you choose to buy these products, do you think that that's a little bit going against your own values?
I think that too many animals are killed for the food.
Yeah.
So
How many is too many?
how many is too many? When you go to a store and you see all the meat.
But knowing that we don't need to consume any animal products, that we can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet, how many animals is too many?
Yeah, but I think people are not vegetable eaters.
What do you mean?
From history.
Does it matter what was happening throughout our
No,
history?
but I think we need also meat to survive.
What would convince you that we don't?
I think there are minerals, vitamins in it.
So what would convince you that we don't need to consume animal products? That we can get everything we need
Convince?
nutritionally from
Can
plant-based
convince
products?
me because I like meat. I
So
like eat meat.
science, the largest organizations of nutritionists and dietitians on the planet know. The meta-analysis, none of this will convince you that your opinion that we need to consume animal products is wrong?
No.
So do you know what you call a person who has a fixed opinion on something and they're not convinced even by high quality evidence?
Well, I think everyone has a own opinion.
This isn't an opinion. Do you think gravity is optional? Do you think gravity is an opinion?
Gravity.
Yeah.
What do you mean with gravity?
Do you think it's an opinion that if I drop an object, it will fall to the ground?
Yeah.
It's an opinion?
No, it's
It's factual.
yes.
So then, what makes something factual? We have a pyramid of evidence in science.
Yeah.
So what's at the top of the pyramid is usually considered pretty factual, and we have that for the fact that we don't need to consume animal products, for the fact that that we can thrive on a plant-based diet.
Yeah, that's okay, but I think everybody should have their own opinion in that. If you are a vegan or a vegetarian or meat eater.
You're saying everybody should have the right to choose.
Yes.
Yeah, but you agree that we don't need to choose animal products, that we can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be. So if we agree on that one, and everybody should have the right to choose, doesn't that go directly against your view of saying animals should be free? Because when somebody chooses to buy an animal
Maybe.
product, an animal isn't free.
Yeah, maybe.
So then you don't think animals should have the right to be free?
I think animals should also have a good life, but yeah.
Like take for instance chickens. Chickens can live up to 10 years old. At what age do you think they're killed at?
And what?
At what age do you think they're killed at?
Very young.
42 days.
Okay.
Is it fair?
No.
No.
It's not fair. My sister, they have chickens themselves.
Is it fair to treat animals like property?
Like property?
Yeah. To bring them to life, to use them for what you need, and when you can no longer use them, to kill them and eat their flesh.
No.
No.
I know that they don't do that.
Oh, everybody does that.
Yeah,
in
everybody
animal
does
agriculture.
that. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So if it's not fair, why would you want to support the system?
Yeah, when you look at like that, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you think that just because they don't walk on two legs or speak like us, then it's okay to do whatever we want to them?
No.
No.
No, that's true. But is it okay if, because we are human, that we can treat other humans like the way we do?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No, everybody deserves respect and to have their rights, right? I agree with you on that one. I'm all for, I'm a feminist. I'm for LGBTQ rights. I think everybody should be allowed to be who and however they want to be, as long as there is consent and no harm being done. I think those are pretty clear limits on why. But I also extend these rights to animals because I think there's no difference between us and them that would justify us using them as objects.
That's true. I think that we have to take care of us first, and of course the animals too.
What does that mean by you? Because you can do all that, right? Like you can take care of humans, but when you make choices for what you eat, for example, or when you make choices for what clothes you buy, you can just make the choices that don't oppress animals. Like you can choose to buy a plant-based meal, you can choose to not buy leather, you can choose to not buy fur, all of this kind of stuff. And eventually, you don't have to fight for the rights of animals. That's not what I'm advocating for. That would be nice if more people would do it, but the bare minimum is to not pay for their oppression.
Yeah. I think we have a long way to go.
We have a long way to go.
Yep.
So here's a hard question for you, and the last one, and then I'll let you go. How many more animals should be exploited for you until you change?
Exploited like?
Like oppressed, like treated like objects, brought to life to be used and then killed.
How many?
Yeah,
Difficult question.
it is a
It's a
difficult
difficult,
one.
yeah, it's a difficult one.
Because a lot of the times we think of animals as this group, but in that whole group of animals, each one of them is an individual who feels, who has an experience of the world, and who doesn't want to die. And even one, in my opinion, is too many. Because
You're a vegetarian.
I'm a vegan, yeah.
A vegan.
I respect the rights of animals, yeah.
Okay.
It's just like I respect everybody else, because there is no reason to not respect them. We have everything that we need nowadays, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So to choose that, from my perspective, the way I see it, is just wrong.
Yeah.
Let me give you a card and scan this QR code and watch either Dominion or The Most Important Speech you'll ever hear.
Okay.
Can you promise me you'll watch one of those two? Just to learn about eggs and all this other stuff.
Okay.
I appreciate you. What was your name again?
Susan.
Susan, I
And yours?
appreciate you. I'm Chip.
Chip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have an awesome day and
You too.
enjoy the sun.
Bye-bye.
Bye. She got a bit defensive. I don't know why. Whoa. Everybody, you're not seeing this, but there is an amazing spider on my phone right now. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. It's a yellow. I may just not touch my phone anymore. I don't know. This guy's claiming my phone all of a sudden. There's a guy on my phone. He's a yellow guy. He's like, this is mine now. You no longer have the rights to it. This phone just came, this spider just came and stole my phone. I hope he won't sit on the camera because he's very close to the camera. Can't see the spider. I know, Martin, you can't see them. They're right they're somewhere here. Look how close they are to the camera. The camera is here, they're here. I'm gonna have to see how I get rid of them in the end, but we'll find. Maybe Spider says hello. Spider says hello. We'll let them be for now. Dear Chip, you're not just spreading veganism, you're helping us stay committed to it. Thank you so much. Marcos, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Marcos. And Marcos, I keep reminding you, you don't have to donate every time. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you standing up, but yeah, I'll just remind you, just to be sure, okay? I appreciate you being here anyway. The spider wants peace. Exactly. I'm gonna let them be here. And when I finish the stream, I'm probably just gonna put them in the grass or something. There's no point in me disturbing them. They clearly like the heat, probably because the phone is warm. So, you know, they're making my phone a little bit cooler also in the process. And I think the spider understood that I'm not a threat to them because I'm putting my finger all over the phone and they're not doing anything. Insects are awesome. I agree. I mean, there was a spider. So I sleep with the windows open because it's very hot these days, and I find insects in my bathtub because it's right next to the window, and I always take them out then in the morning. So there was a spider who was so afraid, just couldn't. Oh, poor little thing was so scared because they couldn't get out of the bathtub. So I took a little sheet of paper and they were running away from the sheet of paper. They were so scared, but then I put the sheet of paper and waited, and eventually they trusted me. They came on the sheet of paper, and I put them outside. Imagine that. Like, spiders are cool, man. I don't know why he looked at it, he waited for a bit, and then he trusted me. What is this guy doing though? Let me see. I don't know what he's doing. I think he had enough. Oh, he shot a I'm sorry, everybody, but he was just gonna shoot it in my direction. He shot a spider web out of his bum. The spider heard about your data plan, Chip. Spiders love the web. Oh my god, that's such a good one, dandelion gum. I love it. Hey guy, are you relaxing? What are you doing? Yeah. Oh, he's gonna go away now. He's gathering his spider web. I'm just telling you guys, I'm looking at a spider right now and telling you the stories of the little spider. I will call him Mark. Mark right now. Or no, Mark is not a good enough name. I would say James. You are what's for dinner, says Ariane. Nah, I doubt it. James is cool. He's like hanging out with his arms like this on the phone. Oh, he's making a spider web on my phone. James, you're wasting your time, brother. Stop doing that for my phone. Okay, let me see if I have can use a sheet of paper. Oh, there you go. He's now right directly in front of the screen, making a spider web there. Okay, I'm gonna use the... Okay, brother, no. Oh, there he is. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the fence. There you go. He's now on the fence. That's okay, everybody. We saved the spider. We put him back on the fence. Look how easy that was. Look how easy that was. Don't have to be afraid of them. Chip, you're giving me the courage to remain vegan. Thank you. I appreciate that, Marcos. You should. We should all be vegan. That's the reality. If we respect the rights of others, we need to be vegan. That's it. It's so easy. Just be compassionate and be fair. We live in worlds where we can do that. We're so lucky, and that's the whole thing about it, isn't it? We're so lucky that we live in a world where we can do all of this. We're so lucky that we live in a world where our rights, where we can respect the rights of others, where our rights are respected, well, most of our rights, and where we have the choice to respect the rights of animals. Like, imagine living in a world where you wanted to be vegan, but it would be so difficult. It's not nice. The reality is we see it considerably more difficult than it actually is. It's pretty easy to be vegan. It's pretty easy. You just gotta go to the supermarket and make different choices. You just gotta go to a different restaurant and make different choices. Next person is vegan. Let's hope so. I mean, I appreciated Elle with a question mark. And I see their whole family. I'm looking at them because her cousin is speaking to another animal rights activist. Hey.
Would you speak English?
Yeah, of course. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, of course we are, yeah.
Okay, can you come closer so that you're in view?
Of course.
Nice, love it. What are your names?
Tara.
Tara?
I'm Saoirse.
And?
Saoirse.
Where are you guys from?
Ireland.
Ireland, okay. So, I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah, of course they do.
What rights do they deserve?
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good question.
Damn. I mean, like food, water.
Obviously, the same as us.
Yeah.
Freedom to a certain extent.
Yeah.
If they're aligned, they should be in the zoo, or not the zoo, in the free.
To live
like,
healthy.
whatever. Yeah.
Healthy.
To live how they're supposed to live.
Yeah.
Do you think they should have the right to not be enslaved by us?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Are you girls vegan?
No.
I was for a while. I found it tough, but I am thinking of going back to it though.
Yeah.
I'm a farmer.
You're
so,
a farmer.
Yeah.
Do you think that the
But
animals that we farm, are they not slaves?
See, no, because it's different. Like, I have the cows, they have their babies. The babies need to grow up. I know we get the milk off them, but the
What
babies
animals do you farm?
Cows. So they don't
For
need,
dairy?
Yeah, for dairy.
How many males do you have?
One.
One. How does that
One.
happen?
You can only have one, so it's a system.
What happens if they're born male?
If they're born male? We just sell them off. We don't kill them. We sell them off or whatever.
Or what if
Just
the
as
person
milk.
you send them off to kills them?
I can't help what happens to
You
them
can't
after.
help? So would
you
it
know?
be okay if your
I've
parents
done-
sold you off to somebody who has a higher chance of killing you?
Yeah, but that's not how. That's different. Yeah, but like.
But how do you think you have the right to bring to life animals only to use them for what you need, and
I
when you can no
understand
longer
what you're
use them, you kill them?
saying, but like, where else are they gonna go? You know.
We can just not bring them to life, can't we?
So do you like drink no milk, no milk? Okay.
No, I respect animals, so
That's
I
fair.
don't use them or treat them like objects.
Yeah, that's fair.
You want them to have equal rights as you do.
I
to
don't know if
yourself.
equal rights to humans. I don't think they should have
Like-
the right to vote per se, but they
Yeah.
should
Yeah,
have the
Okay,
right
like
to
I
live.
understand what
healthy
you're
life.
saying, but I don't
Yeah.
mistreat the animals. Like we have a very strict
At what age do they kill them? Do you kill them?
4 or 5. I don't
How long
really
can
look
cows
into
live?
that. Long time. Yes, I
24
understand that.
Is
I
any
do
of
get
this
that.
is any of this respectful towards them?
No, but like I understand what you're saying, but I also understand our side too. There's two sides
How
to
many
it.
do you name your cows?
Yeah, we do name our cows. Yeah.
And do you feel good when you send them to slaughter?
We don't send them to slaughter. We
When
send
you
them.
kill
off-
them?
No, we don't kill them. We send them off to other farmers. We actually don't send them off to slaughter.
Okay, but you said they get killed at age
Yeah,
4.
that I know that they get killed by other people. We
Ah.
don't send them off to get killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that
Unless that they got really hurt and that they have to get killed. You know, if their leg is broken and that's the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's
only fair. If your
only
friend
fair.
breaks her leg, you should
And
kill
I
them for
also
sure.
think that we use way better, like we can get a vet in 30 minutes for our vets. Like we are very good to our animals.
But yet, if they break their leg, you think they should be killed, not have a veterinarian.
No, we get the vet first and we check the final results. We don't, we put money into our animals. If that needs €1,000 to fix the legs, we will put it in. We
But
will
what
give
if
it
what if they just live without them being on 4 legs?
But they're in pain. If we will do it
That
to
will
the
be get
pain.
fixed, right? Like any pain that you have, if they break their leg or something, that would eventually fix
Yeah, but we will do
itself.
the best to its ability.
I don't feel like I understand you're telling that yourself,
But
but do
I-
you really think it's true, knowing that you kill them at a fraction of their lifespan, knowing that you send away their babies, knowing that you use them for their milk, knowing that you
I feel like
impregnate
we're
them
not
only
gonna
to use
win
them for
this.
milk?
I get the whole animal rights thing.
Oh yeah, definitely not. But I think he's trying to change your perspective.
Yeah, but
to-
there is no changing. I live on a
Yeah.
farm. My family, I can't change them. I can change me, but I can't change
You
them.
can change yourself, that's true.
Yeah,
you don't
and
have to be
I am
part
doing
of
a
this.
different work. I work a different thing.
Oh,
I
so
work
you
in
don't
a
do this?
hospital. I don't do this.
Oh, okay, okay.
No,
okay.
but
That's
I was
fair,
just,
that's fair,
yeah.
that's fair. But you don't have to defend what they're doing. I'm just
No,
saying.
yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's not. I'm not trying to
Shove it down my throat.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you could be doing differently. I thought like you were defending it in that sense. or in
No,
that sense
no,
I'm
no,
not,
no.
but- No, okay. So if you're not defending, you can choose to not be part of any of this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So knowing that you were a farmer and that you participate in it, you kind of saw that it is unfair towards them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So do you think we need to consume any animal products?
Well, I still do. Like, I can't say, yes, I've, to a certain extent, but I do consume, so I can't say.
I think we have like so much resources now that we could just not do that anymore.
Exactly.
Do
We
you
don't.
know?
We don't need
Like
to.
we have we've evolved so much that we can make alternatives that like taste like it maybe, but like it's not what behind it isn't actually happening, which yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Let me give you a card before you go. I see your friend
No,
is.
I'm sorry, I'm not being rude, but I'm just,
You want to finish
It's
this conversation
roasting.
with me?
No, it's okay. I'm
It's
gonna
okay.
go.
Okay, let me just give you this
Yeah.
card. I would say scan this QR code. Watch Dominion or the most. I think you'll like the most important speech you'll ever hear.
Yeah,
Promise me you'll watch this.
I promise.
Okay, and you have a thing there called Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist. They send you recipes every day.
No way.
And they help you go
oh my
plant-based for free.
gosh, that's great. Oh my god, that's amazing. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
What was your name again?
Look at that, Saoirse. Lovely to meet you.
Saoirse.
What's your name?
Chip.
Chip. And what's your?
You have my social
yeah,
media details
perfect.
there. Please go vegan.
I will,
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you
I
so much.
appreciate you. Have a good one. Yeah, her friend got really defensive, didn't she? I felt like she was defending what they are doing. It wasn't like I wasn't attacking her. I was just telling her that's not fair. What age do you kill them? All this kind of stuff. I just asked questions and they just didn't like the questions. What time is it there? 6 a.m. here, says Robin. Robin, it is 3 p.m. here. I think I'm going to do it for 1 more hour and that's it. 1 more hour and that's it. It's pretty warm. It's very warm. Maybe not even an hour, maybe like 30 minutes. Hi, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 14.
Are you with your parents here?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then I can't talk to you unless you're with your parents. Because I'm live on my YouTube channel and minors can only be if their parents consent to it.
Oh, my parents are fine.
I don't know that. I've had that before, so I'm sorry. I've had this before, and I've had conversations with, oh, I want them to be removed. You're not allowed and stuff. So I'm just gonna follow the law. The law says I'm not allowed to film minors without the consent of their parents. So I'm not gonna be doing that, even if they express consent. Want to debate Chip? Contact him via Instagram, Discord, etc. Hey, Erwin. Thank you, Erwin. I already said hello to you. Erwin, you're also such an awesome animal rights activist. You're so dedicated. I've seen you put so much soul into it, and I appreciate that about you. I see you. You come in here. You give links. You want to explain. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You're so respectful. Yeah, I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be respectful. I think I'm trying to make the world a little bit better. Don't get me wrong. I get frustrated with people also. But even then, I try to be respectful. I think we still need to have conversations. It's kind of sad when we reach a point where we can't have conversations with each other, but you know, we're trying. So I think I'm gonna do 20 more minutes, everybody. I don't think I got more and more in me. 20, maybe 30 minutes, we'll see. It's very hot. It was a bad idea to sit there in the sun. I should have moved earlier. But we're gonna do our best. Choose compassion, go vegan. Completely appreciate that. Completely agree with you. We have 4 animal rights activists right now. All of them are speaking to people. Well, one of them is not. One of them is just holding a sign. But yeah, and some of them are in the shade, so I don't see them. But yeah, we got a couple of animal rights activists here. They're doing the same. They're also holding a sign that says, I'm doing a social experiment. And when they turn them around, they're asking them, who would you rather kill? Oh, there you go, another one. 5 animal rights activists. I love this. Oh, 6, because I also met another one at first. Yeah, 6 animal rights activists, with me 7. That's nice. That's nice. That's what it is. That's where we're at. 7 animal rights activists speaking for the animals. I love seeing that. It's also a little bit of a festival here, everybody. I'm not sure if you can see. There's all these flags. Let's see if I can. Ketikoti. I don't know what that is. But yeah, there's all these flags.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, we're here for your social experiment.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, I'm okay.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
17?
Yeah.
Are you with your parents here?
No, but he's 18.
He's 18?
He's
Okay, then.
I'm his legal guardian.
You're his legal guardian?
Not legal, but
Okay.
close enough.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You want to be here so that you're
Yeah.
in. Okay.
Let's
What's
do
your
it.
name?
I'm Julian.
Julian, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Gal?
Cal.
Cal.
Yeah.
Cal, nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Where are you guys
Chip.
from?
We're from Boston, Massachusetts, USA.
Boston, Massachusetts, USA. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, what's your take on oppression?
Bad.
Bad.
Yeah,
Bad.
don't like oppression.
Don't like oppression.
Yeah.
So oppression means cruel and unjust treatment.
Right.
Do you think that if somebody has power over somebody else, should they be allowed to oppress them?
No.
No. No, okay. What if the individual being oppressed does not realize that they're oppressed?
Still say it's wrong.
Still say it's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. And what if the individual who's doing the oppression has been doing that for so long that it's difficult for them to stop?
Yeah, that doesn't make it just.
Does not make it just. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. And what if the individual who's being oppressed is part of a different biological group? Like, take for instance, a man oppressing a woman because they're a different sex, or a white person oppressing a black person because they're a different race.
Yeah.
Does them being part of a different group make oppression okay?
Well, yeah. No, it doesn't make it okay. I don't know if those are necessarily different biological groups.
Humans
but yeah.
are very, very similar to each other.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
at what? What's your distinction between different biological groups? Like if your distinction is between me and a fish, maybe I don't care. But if my distinction is between me and any other human, I care.
And here's the crux of it. That's my next question. Yeah. Do you think we should be oppressing animals?
I don't think it's necessarily oppression, because it's just like the natural world. It's just how nature plays out. Things eat each other. We eat animals, but they also eat each other. Just how the world works.
I don't think we should be oppressing animals. No.
Do you think that the fact that we bring them to life only to use them and then kill them Is that not cruel and unjust?
It depends. That in of itself, I wouldn't say is necessarily unjust, but definitely if you're treating them in an unjust way. But raising an
you
animal,
don't think it's unfair?
I don't think agriculture is unjust. No.
Knowing that we don't need to do any of it, do you still
I mean-
think it's unjust? Do you still think it's just?
Yeah, we could all be vegetarian, but I don't find it to be unjust. No.
There's some agriculture that's definitely unjust, like factory farms full
I agree with
of
that.
Why are factory farms
Factory
unjust?
farms are unjust because the animals in them are constantly under stress and they're constantly living a bad life.
Actually, a study done on 13,000 dairy farms in Germany showed that the welfare of animals in large farms is the same as the welfare of animals in small farms. Because while on small farms they have more attention with the farmer, on large farms they have standard procedures put in place, access to veterinarians, and standardized food.
Okay.
So actually, they're not more in stress. Their stress levels are fairly similar.
I would like to see. I would like to know what that seems very unlikely because
You can look it up. It's called 13,000 dairy farms. It's like the welfare of 13,000 dairy farms.
That's interesting.
I would hesitate to believe that standardized veterinary practices make an animal happier. I'd like.
Well, it does
small-
because you don't realize, I'm sorry for interrupting you, you don't realize just how frustrated some farmers get with animals, and sometimes they just hit them with a...
Oh, no, for sure, for
like,
sure. There's
and
definitely
not hit,
abuses that
hit them in a way that hurts them, but hit them in a way that does torment them, you know, like that does get them scared and stuff, right? So that's the whole point about it. But you said it's wrong to do this to humans. I would say farming humans is wrong, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So farming animals is okay, you say, right?
Yeah.
So I'll ask you this question, which is a difficult one. What is the morally significant difference between human beings and animals that justifies the difference in view?
Well, I mean, obviously, we are much more intelligent than. I think we have a much more. We're much more afraid of death. Death is much more of a penalty to humans. Like, if you look at animals, if you kill an animal in front of another animal, it's not gonna like react in any meaningful way. No, they get scared.
They get traumatized. They get anxiety.
I spent a summer at a farm, and we saw this, and they did not like. They don't care about death. They care about fear, which are two distinct things. Like,
They
they're
have
not afraid of
anxiety and they
dying.
have emotions.
Yeah, no, I know.
They form emotions, and they do show fear in the first thing, but they don't express emotions in the same way you would, right? Like, how do you express anxiety?
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, like
Like,
but
we
what
don't
does it
have
even mean?
I just think that like it's possible for animals for agriculture, like even plants, animals to have a good life, a full life, and to also be farmed and to be killed.
Exactly, it's not possible.
I
so
think
then
it
we
is
come back to the
possible,
same. Well,
is what I'm
it's,
saying.
Okay,
we
but-
can go that,
yeah.
but let's finish with this question. What is the morally significant difference? I'm looking for like a phenotype type of trait that justifies the difference in treatment.
I think we're
because
more intelligent. I also think that this is our species, and I think that we're still a natural being, and that's sort of how, like, we're gonna be killing something to survive.
so
That's just
intelligent
how
species,
that's
and
what works.
we're going to be killing something to survive
Yeah,
in
like,
nature.
what is the difference between a plant and
Okay, I can
step on
explain to you
grass
what the
all
difference
time?
is. I can explain to you what
Like-
the difference is, but
yeah.
let's start with this intelligence. So, if I find a human being with the intelligence level of an animal, would it be okay to oppress them?
No, because then you
Well,
have the
well,
additional
first of all, I'm not
species.
okay with the oppression of animals. Like, I'm just saying that I don't think that necessarily oppression is inherent to farming or to agriculture.
So, bringing to life an animal to kill them at the fraction of their lifespan is not cruel and unjust towards them.
I don't know if they're living a good life. I don't think so. No, I don't think it's necessarily oppressive.
You don't think
or
it's
unjust.
cruel and unjust?
No.
I mean, is it just?
Is it better for
I
it
mean,
to
it's
never
a-
have
it's
lived?
hard
Because
to
if that
find
animal
justice.
was never
Yes,
brought into
it's
this
better
world.
if they have not brought into existence,
Really?
rather than be
Really?
brought into existence only to be used and killed.
So would you rather have never lived? Because you're gonna die one day anyway.
But I'm not. The difference is that I'm not an object to somebody. I'm an individual.
but, like-
I get to make choices. Would I rather live a life
not
of
like that.
slavery?
But
Would I rather live a life of
you have some
slavery?
amount of constrained choices.
Yeah.
though.
Would I rather live a life of slavery or not live at all? Yes, I would rather not live at all than live a life of slavery.
But the slavery doesn't necessarily have to be like oppressive. Like yes,
Yeah.
we
Slavery
own
is
them.
oppressive by definition.
No, but I'm saying
Because
that
it is
that-
cruel and unjust.
I would agree with that, but I'm saying that I think to say that an animal on a farm is necessarily gonna live a life that is not worth living. I don't agree with that. I think that they live.
So
lives
you think
full-
that?
Yeah, and
So
it's-
you
or
think that if we
not-
bring somebody
definitely
to
not
life,
in
we
every
have the
case.
right to do whatever we want to them because we brought them to life?
No, I don't think so with that. But I think that this is a different case because they're not humans. I just think that it's like it's impossible.
What's the difference? We come
because
back
we
to the
have,
same
because
question.
we have to eat.
We
No?
don't have to eat animals. So
But-
we come
well,
back
what's
to
the
the same
difference
question.
between plants?
Plant and animal. 'Cause
They're
plants
not
also
sentient.
release- Okay. For one thing, what's your definition of sentience? Because you could say
Subjective
that
experience of the world, emotions
plants
of positive and negative valence
Plants
emotions.
have also release hormones when they're stressed. They release hormones to other plants. Yes, they do.
What would
You're
convince
getting
you
a
that
study
what you're
actually
saying is not true?
Basically nothing.
Nothing will convince you that what you're saying is not true?
I mean, because we're
So
arguing based
science,
off of
if I show you empirical evidence that plants are not sentient, that wouldn't convince you?
I mean,
Well,
I just think it's
didn't
interesting because
What
I
do
don't
you
think
mean
we
by
have a
sentient?
we
Like,
don't have a
sentient is
clear
not well
definition.
Subjective
of
experience, it means
sentient
that they're the subject of their own universe.
or not. Are
so
you
what's
necessarily the
your-
subject of your own universe?
Yes,
mean,
I
it's
am the
hard to
subject
say.
of my own universe, just like you are the subject of your own
I
universe.
I kind of disagree. Like, I don't
You
think
disagree?
That, I
You're
think
not the
that,
subject of your own universe?
No, I mean I don't think that we have the ability or the capability to live life exactly we want it. There's going to be limitations on how
That's
we
not
live.
the point. Limitations doesn't mean that you're
it's
not the
just like
subject of
some
your own
degree-
universe.
I don't think I have more right to life than plants. Like, I don't know.
So right now you're saying that animals are like plants?
I mean, in some way, it's alive.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I
let me
think
ask you this:
we're like
if you had,
plants.
if there was a burning building
Yeah.
and you could save an animal, let's say a dog
Okay,
or a
but-
plant, which one would you save?
Again, you're.
So which one would you
moving
save?
away.
They're both
Obviously, I would
equal.
save
Okay,
the dog, but that's because
but they're
I'm much,
both
because
equal.
I
But would
feel
you
as
save a
person I
human?
have
Would you save a
more-
human or a dog?
Yeah.
Probably a human, yeah.
So then-
I mean, yeah. I think that it's like, I agree that we should that.
But both of them
dogs-
have equal rights to survive in that situation.
They have both equal rights, but then
Yeah,
you're
but that's
choosing
not-
the
that's about
dog.
your
I'm choosing because I
plant.
have a preference towards them. Yes.
It's 'cause you
Okay,
love
well,
it
I have a
more.
preference towards humans. What
Yes,
is
I have a
that?
preference
Okay.
towards humans. Yes, of course.
That's fair.
But,
But you still think
but that's
that
extrinsic
unjust,
value. But that's extrinsic value. The intrinsic value, the value that how you value your life,
Right.
is how I value my life. Is how an animal values their life. Your life is everything to you. My life is everything to me. Their life is everything to them.
So that
Right.
tree is not, its life is not everything.
No,
to
because
it.
that tree cannot think, does not have a brain, does not have a central
Okay.
nervous
But no,
system,
I think
so
they
it's
do
not
experience
sentient.
feelings. And I think
Just because they don't have a nervous system.
They don't experience feelings. So let's imagine that you think
I
plants
don't
are
have the
sentient.
studies,
Let's,
but I
let's
think
imagine
they're-
that you think plants are sentient. They're
Yeah.
not, and it's a completely pseudoscientific fact to say that plants have feelings. But let's imagine that you think they do. Wouldn't you say then it's preferable to kill less plants?
Sure.
Preferable
Yeah.
to kill less
So then a
plants.
plant-based
we need to
diet
eat
would still
something,
kill
yeah.
less plants.
Oh yeah, you're right, because the whole you need to feed an animal.
Because you
That's
need
a
to
very
feed the
valid point.
animals,
That's a
right?
very valid point.
Yeah. So at the end of the day,
But-
you're still causing less harm even to plants, and you don't bring to life a being who we know for a fact that feels. We know for a fact they have emotions, only to enslave them and kill them and treat them like an object in the
No,
place.
I agree
Same with
with-
the plant. I think like it's killing things is going to happen. That's how we eat. Like
Yeah,
that's,
but
we
the argument
need
that
to
if
kill
you could,
things.
if you could kill
Kill
less,
less
things,
things.
you should kill less things. That's valid.
I mean, yeah, to an extent, but then it's also like
Yeah.
to what degree? And this maybe you're not gonna like this take, but I think that I am more important than a dog, right? Like, or I am more important than a plant. I think
But
that
your
because-
option is not between yourself and somebody else. Your option is always between.
Well, it's like why
it's-
do humans eat meat, right? It's like
because
they
because
enjoy it.
animal agriculture has programmed you to think that you do need it, and because animal agriculture makes a lot of money out of you buying their products.
I
Well, let's
enjoy
go
a
back,
steak.
like Homo erectus.
Exactly,
is
because you enjoy it.
born- People have
I
been
enjoy
eating
it.
meat for as long as we've been people.
Not
right?
how we do it today.
Oh yeah, no, how we do it today, we eat much more.
I
It
agree,
used to
there's-
be
Yeah,
much
today
more
we eat it every
practices,
day.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
used to
yeah,
eat meat
that's fair
once a
enough.
day or twice a day,
Yeah,
once a
yeah,
week
no,
or twice
that's-
a week, right?
That's correct, but what's the difference there morally? Is it like
Well, morally, there's no difference. You're right. The difference is that today, morally, we have options. They didn't. So the difference is that
No,
today
they
we
still
can
had
survive and
options, like
thrive on a
if
plant-based
you look-
diet.
If you look in India, for example, there's many vegetarians in India.
But
and there have been for
vegetarians
as
are still
long as there
exploit animals because dairy products exploit animals very badly. Cows are forcefully inseminated, have their babies taken from them,
Yeah.
exploited and killed. Like it's still unfair. It's still extremely unfair. I understand that you guys think animals are these beings who don't deserve anything, but like you need to
I didn't
consider
say
them.
that.
You need to consider them as they are. They are individuals. They have a perspective. Behind those eyes, there is a somebody.
Not as
Not
somebody.
as somebody in the same way.
It's
Like,
not a
just
human.
fully not.
It's just
Like-
like they're not as conscious. Sure, but I agree. I don't think that.
What makes you think
animal
that they're not as
cruelty is-
conscious?
Okay. What makes me think that they're not as well? Look, depends how you're going to define consciousness. But I will say that their cognitive abilities are lacking. Their experience, their idea of what they are, of what everything is much below what ours is.
So the same you could say about an intellectually challenged human being.
I would say the same about intellectually challenged human beings, except for they're still human.
So then,
Big
so
difference.
it's strictly, as you said,
Like-
biological category, species. The fact that they're part of a different biological category all of a sudden makes it okay to oppress them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still
So
not
what's
okay with the
difference- what's the
oppressing that, but
difference
I'm saying
between what's the
farming
difference between a racist and a speciesist?
Because
somebody
that's
who,
not a
who draws an
biologically
arbitrary
different-
line of
there's
race
nothing-
and somebody who
No,
draws
no,
an
because
arbitrary line of
we're
species.
almost identical to everybody in our species. We are not like we're
Clearly not with an intellectually challenged human being.
No,
you have
we share not more than 99.9% of our DNA.
Same with most
everybody in our
animals,
species.
yeah.
No, I know that too, but we are more similar to everybody else in our species than a baboon is to other people. And
So
other
wait,
things
if we
than
find a
chimps and
human
baboons.
being who's different enough from you, it would be okay to oppress them?
Well, then it's not a human if it's different enough.
So if they're not a human, if they're
Okay,
not
so you're
genetically a
arguing that
human,
if
would it
it's-
be okay to oppress them?
So if it's a different species.
Yeah, let's
then if it's
imagine
like
that I'm
a-
not human. I'm genetically different,
I
so
don't
different
think it's
that
okay
I'm
to
not
oppress
human.
anything. I just don't think that it's necessarily oppression to raise an animal on a farm.
It is if you plan to, if you only raise them with the purpose of using them like an object and killing them.
I mean, I think we disagree because I don't think that's necessarily oppressive.
So if we did that to a human being, would it be oppressive?
I mean, we kind of do. I mean, like
So
we
if we
live
did
in a
that to a human
society,
being-
right? We live in a society where we have people that have to do certain things that they don't make choices. They're
Are
not
they treated
completely
like
free.
objects?
Are they treated like objects? In some sense, yes. That
In some
happens in our
sense,
society.
are you
yes.
treated like an object?
In some sense, yes.
In what sense are you treated like an object?
Okay, I'm treated like an object in the sense that I live in a world with certain rules, right? I don't have complete freedom and I don't have the complete capability to do whatever I want. I have to go to school.
Will,
I want
somebody,
this-
will somebody
it's
be?
like not
Why
a
do you have to
completely
go to
free
school?
world. Okay, I don't
It's for your
necessarily-
interest, isn't it?
Right, it's for my interest.
Your parents don't do it for their interest, do you?
I could.
If your
okay,
parents
all right,
would
whatever.
make you work
Look, I was a
as
bad
a
example,
child
but
and say, because I want you to make money for me, would that be fair towards you? Because
Sorry,
that's
I
the
was-
whole crux of it. You have to
Right.
understand
But-
if you
okay,
if you are
that was a
forcing
bad example.
somebody,
You don't have to go to school. But let's just say right now I wanted to take off all my clothes, right, and just be naked right here in the middle of the park. Could I do that?
let's say you wanted to live, could you do that if you were an animal? No, you could. You would have your throat cut. I'm talking about the fact that you can't take your clothes off in public. Do you think is comparable to the fact that these animals are enslaved? Every single thing that they do is
Of course
controlled
not,
by
but
a
I'm just saying
farmer.
that it's
They're-
not
they're-
necessarily
they get
oppressive to not have
impregnated.
complete freedom.
Like,
I
it's
agree
not-
with you that
they
there's
don't have
tons
zero
of,
freedom.
I
Tell me what freedom farm animals have.
You have the freedom to live your life.
Tell me what freedom farm animals have.
They have the freedom to walk around, to eat grass, they make decisions.
They don't even
poop
have that
wherever they
freedom.
want.
What are you talking about? When
look,
the farmer says stop,
you're
they
gonna say
stop
there's-
and take them where they have to go. They don't even have that freedom.
That happens sometimes, but it's not necessarily oppressive. They don't have obviously the same level of freedom, but they have some degree of freedom. And there's the real point is that
So
you
wait,
can never
if
have
we did
100%
exactly the
freedom.
if we
You're
had
not gonna
if we
be-
did exactly the same thing to humans, bring them to life only to treat them like objects and kill them, would it be oppressive? The same thing we do to animals.
Yeah.
For
I
optional
think there's
products.
definitely
Would
a
it be
lot of
oppressive?
oppression. I think there's a lot of oppression that
Please
happens
answer
to
my
animals.
question.
Yes.
It would be
As I said,
oppressive.
And
Okay,
I
so
don't
why
think
is it oppressive towards a human but not oppressive towards
It is
an animal?
oppressive towards animals. There's tons of farming practices that I think are oppressive. I just don't think that farming inherently has to be oppressive.
I'll ask you again. The most ideal farm you can imagine for animals, right?
Yeah.
Green fields. If we did the same thing to a human being, we bring them to life, we give them a good couch, we give them a Netflix subscription, and we kill them when we want to kill them. We give them what we control what food they have. We control if they want to breed or not. We control everything because that happens in all agriculture. Would it be oppressive if we did that to that human being? That human being cannot leave. That human being can only stay there.
Does the human being know it's gonna die?
Say it again.
Does the human being know it's gonna die?
No.
I don't know. That's a good question. I have to think
Like,
about it.
Is it oppressive?
I mean, it's oppressive to me because I know what's going to happen to it. But is it oppressive to the animal?
I'm not asking if it's oppressive to them. I'm asking you if the action is oppressive.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just or not.
It's
You don't know if keeping a human being captive to suit your own needs.
But you just
While
said it's
you-
the best
while
thing.
you say you
just said
take
we
care
made
of
heaven
them.
for it.
Possible life.
Like it's having a great life.
I'm saying the
is what you're
best
saying.
the best biological life. That means I give them the best food that would make them be healthy. I give them a Netflix subscription, but I look after my own interest.
But
at the end of the day.
is it happy?
Yeah, is it
Is
Is
the
it
human
happy?
being happy?
Yeah.
As happy as somebody who cannot leave their house can be.
I mean, like they have a massive field. Like
I don't
most
know,
people
yeah.
throughout history, it didn't move more than 20 miles from where they were born.
So would it be oppressive
I guess,
if we did
I guess
if
it's
we
an interesting
farmed
question.
if
Would
we
you
farmed
take-
humans?
Would you have the decision that you basically life is heaven, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Life is heaven, but
however,
I die at some
however, someone controls when you die or not.
I don't
Is that
think- I think
No,
oppressive?
no, not when you die. They get killed, and this is the lifespan of animals. So a dairy cow doesn't live even half their life. How old are you? You said 17, right?
Yeah, 17.
Okay, so any other animal you would be killed by now. Would it be oppressive if I chose to keep you captive gave you the best food that I think is good, told you what to do because what I think is good for you, and
Now you're
then
making the situation worse than the original premise.
and then kill you, and then kill you when before you even reach adulthood because that's how I need to kill you. Would it be oppressive?
I'm still thinking that.
I'm
because
basically
they're not-
enslaving you, and you're
Well,
thinking if
well,
slavery is
well,
oppressive.
No. Because what the original question was that you had just asked that I was interested. I think there's definitely oppressive practices. I think that there's tons
I'm
of
asking you
unjust
if I
farming.
treat a
Yeah.
human, if I farm humans, is it oppressive?
Yes, it's oppressive.
So
Does-
why would it be that if I farm animals is not oppressive, but if I farm humans is oppressive?
because if you give the animals everything that they want in their life,
I do the
just
same
think
thing
it's-
to humans, wouldn't it? Like again,
I mean, I don't
imagine
necessarily-
slavery. Imagine slaves giving them a Netflix subscription, giving them an iPhone, whatever. That make slavery okay?
But they're not people, though, right?
The other thing I think is that like some level of at least subordination or oppressive is necessary for society. Like that, and that's sort of the thing that I was
I don't
making.
think you know what
You're being
oppression is,
oppressive.
so I repeat it. It's cruel and unjust.
Right.
What part
But,
of
like,
it?
how are you
what part
defining
of
just, for
what
instance?
part of cruel and
I
unjust
mean, what
do
are
we
you
need
defining
out
as
of-
cruel and what are you defining as just? I mean, you can just go right there. Like, what makes something unjust?
I would definitely tell you. There's a lot of things that I can tell you by each item specifically, but somebody bringing you to life to suit their needs, to use you for their needs, to give you only for their needs, and to kill you for their needs is unjust towards you.
Why?
Why is it unjust towards you? Because you're an individual who has your own values, who has your own wills,
What if
who you
what if
want to do
consent
what you
to
want to
that?
do.
And I'm not saying that that's the case at all. I'm just
If you
wondering.
consent to it, it's a different thing. But that's the whole problem.
Is that
Animals
they
cannot
can't consent.
Yeah.
It's true. But can they consent to really anything?
Yeah,
like it's not like we
There's
can-
intellectually challenged human beings who cannot consent to anything. Would it be okay to farm them?
No, but is it? But look, then they get put in a home and they get put in a place. Sure, they live their life. We don't kill them. They get put
They
in a
don't get
special
put in a home.
facility.
What the fuck,
They
man?
get put in facilities.
They don't get put in facilities.
There's people don't get put in facilities.
No,
for
they
mental health
don't.
issues.
What the
Yes.
fuck? They get
Well,
taken care of.
No, well, that's what I mean by facility. Of course, it's humane facility, but I'm just saying that they're put in a place against their will, where they're taken care of, right? Because they need special help. No, you don't think this is true.
I don't think, first of all, I think intellectually challenged human beings should have the same rights as you do. They should have freedom if they want to, and they should
Okay.
not be put into institutions as you think.
You don't think that an intellectually challenged person should be put into an institution?
Of
to
course
support
not.
them?
What the fuck, man?
Okay.
That's kind of fucked up.
You think so?
You think somebody who
What about-
who's not as smart as us deserves to be in an institution? Deserves to have their freedom taken away from them? Why?
Why? So that they can live a better life, so that they can be taken care of. If they like
a better life for whom? It's clearly not a better life for them.
Then I don't know. Like this is. I mean, it's hard to say what's a better life for them because it's hard to say what a good life is. But like, look, I've a friend, for instance. He has Down syndrome, right? And when he goes to school, he has to be put into a specialized program because that's how school works. For
But
him.
that's a different thing.
Like, so I think by institution or facility, I didn't mean something. I meant something humane, something where you have special help, special attention. In a similar way to when you're old, you can go to these places. I think that it's go to an old person home.
So the reason why some of these people, as you said, at your school get put into a special program, it's because it's for their interest to be put in a special plan. You seem to be forgetting about this, and I'll repeat it. When you do an action for somebody for their interest, when that individual cannot consent, it's okay if you're doing it for their interest. It's okay for your parents to tell you to go to school because it's for your interest. But if your parents say, no, you gotta go to work, you gotta be a slave now because they wanna make money off of you, that's not fair towards you, yet they would be forcing you. If your parents are forcing you to go to medical school because they were doctors and they want you to be a doctor, it's not fair towards you because it's not for your interest, it's for their interest. It's the same thing. Fairness comes with respecting what you want to do.
And then we can circle back for first of all about the institution space. I think that it's totally in a lot of people with specialized basically learning, specialized paths. To be in humane institution, it's in their interest where they can get the help that they need and live a better life. I think it's the same way that you could put an animal in a farm where they live, where you could argue.
What's
that
the
it is
interest
in
of
their
farming
interest.
animals? What's the interest of farming?
You get free food.
No. What's the interest of bringing to life an animals on a farm from the first place?
What? For us. Our
Alright,
interests.
so
I'm
so
saying
it's
he
not-
doesn't
so it's
have
not
to
in
be.
their interest.
It doesn't have to be a zero-sum game.
But it is, isn't it?
I don't
because
think
you
it
bring
has to
you
be,
bring them
no.
to life in the first place for
That
your
doesn't
interest,
necessarily
to treat
mean
them
that it's
like an
against
object
their
and then to
interests.
kill them.
I think it's in their interest to be alive.
I don't think it's in their interest to bring them alive, to enslave them and kill them.
They
can't really, like,
because they wouldn't be alive if they didn't.
do
So
that.
what
They can't, like,
choice would they make? If you think they're independent things with the ability to make choices.
So wait, yeah, I ask you again then. So if you think it's okay to bring to life somebody and do something horrific to them because you gave them life, then should I be allowed to bring to life humans and kill them at the age of 14 because I gave them a good life?
Somebody, right? It's a something.
No, animals are somebody.
Okay, so then they're very fundamentally we disagree.
You
Are they
disagree that
people?
they're somebody? You disagree that they have a subjective experience of the world?
That's not what I think means to somebody.
You don't think a somebody implies that they're subject of their own universe?
I think they're subject to their own universe, but I don't think they're conscious. I don't think they have a free will.
They are
I don't
conscious,
think-
yeah.
All right, so find a study that proves that. Like.
Yeah, I can show you. There's
Okay,
studies
okay,
that
fine,
actually
pull
show
it up.
animals that you can look
Okay,
it up. It's
pull it
called.
up. Pull it up.
My phone is over there, man. You have a phone. Look it up. It's called Thinking Fast and Slow for Animals. Learning Fast and Slow for Animals. Look it up.
Okay, so the
Animals
fact that they
both
can
learn
learn
slow,
subjective.
learn ultra slow also. And yes, they do have. Oh, if you were looking for the subjectivity, it's called the Declaration of Sentience, the Declaration of Consciousness, the
then
New
at
York
what point is
Declaration
it
of Consciousness,
non-sentient,
and the
right?
Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness, because that shows that all these animals are
Okay,
sentient.
I'm sure it says on the title that it shows animals are conscious. I don't think
No.
it means they're conscious in the same way that we're conscious. Like, you can't prove that we're conscious. How can you prove that a pig is conscious?
In the same way, I can prove that you're conscious, but with the fact that you react to stimuli and the fact that you remember that stimuli and you react differently
the fact
again
that I'm
based on the
alive
stimuli.
These are also, but you're saying plants.
No, you can again. You
Plants
can
react
distinguish.
and
You can
remember?
distinguish.
Yeah, they
you can
trees grow
plants
around
react the
poles,
same
they
way
grow
to
around
stimuli.
poles.
If I put the same stimuli to a plant, it will react in the same
if
way.
you touch
But
a
if I put
burner,
the same stimulant to a different animal, they will react differently. Not to mention the fact that they have an emotional response to that act. Like a dog has anxiety. Have you not seen dogs with anxiety?
Of course.
So how can you explain dogs with anxiety then?
Because of course they have anxiety because it's a thing in your brain. Like, I don't think that means we're conscious either just because we have anxiety. Like, this is just not a good argument.
So what do you think consciousness is? I
So-
don't. You don't think it's a good argument?
So
Yet you
consciousness.
weren't unable to answer the question: what is the morally significant difference between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in treatment? You're
There
unable to
isn't-
answer
there
that
isn't
question.
one.
There isn't one. So then, why would you? If there isn't one, how can you justify the difference in
Can I
treatment?
make a point, guys? I'm not trying to get like really. I don't want people to get mad here. I just want to. Everyone chill out, okay?
I think we're
Stop.
having a meaningful discussion. I didn't mean to offend anybody.
No, you're not
but
offending me. You're just.
It's getting really heated. Let's just take a second, okay?
I just don't like violence, and you guys are defending violence.
Well, we don't see it as violence personally. Okay, can I just make my point first? Just right before you get to that, would it be okay if I just made my point? So, I think that
This is not violence.
Of course, that's
it's already
violent,
dead
but
though.
So all of nature is.
This is already. Somebody is killing them in this photo.
Yeah, but they don't do that to the animal while it's alive. They humanely.
What's humanely killing them?
Like
just death.
giving them no
I
pain.
don't know, man.
This isn't death. This is killing.
So what's the
Okay,
What's
wait.
the difference?
Can
If a human
okay.
being dies, it's a difference
Hold on.
between a human
I
being
just wanna
dying or
point
a
out
human
you
being
just
killed.
completely interrupted my point. Can
Yeah.
I just kind of say my point really quick? Like,
Sure.
please.
Defend violence. Go on.
Okay, so different species of animals have different brain capacities, different brain size, right? We know
So
that.
if we find a human being with the same
please
brain
don't interrupt
capacity,
me.
would it be
No,
okay to oppress them?
Please, just don't interrupt me, please. So, say do we like farm and kill dolphins? Do we farm and kill chimpanzees?
Yeah,
Like,
we do.
compar-
Actually, we
compared
farm and
to-
we farm and kill dolphins
compared
also.
to-
Yes.
Compared to cows and pigs.
It is.
Have
They
you-
do that in the Sea of China.
No, I know they.
Okay,
fish
so that's
them.
China.
I don't think they farm them. I
They
do.
do. What do you
actually
what the fuck do you
Okay.
think happens to dolphinariums? Those are do you not call that farming? They farm
Hey,
dolphins.
he's interrupting, guys.
For
He's interrupting, guys.
they're farming for the sake of entertainment. They're keeping animals captive for the sake of entertainment.
All right.
Okay, and I don't agree with that. But what I'm saying is,
Why?
because they're like being captive for the sake of entertainment.
Why is that bad?
Because it's for the sake of entertainment. Do we do that to like
So if it's for the sake of optional food, it all of a sudden makes
optional
it okay.
food is
Yeah.
not it's not optional.
You think we need to consume animal products?
I think we need to consume animal and farm products.
So what would convince you that we don't need to consume animal products?
Nothing. That's
Nothing.
Just, I think.
So
I
what
feel
would
like
you?
it's
So
bad.
if I showed you science, you can pull it up right now on your phone.
I don't have internet.
You don't have internet. That's okay. So if does meta-analysis convince you that you can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet?
So
Does
that's
the
not what I'm
largest
saying,
organizations
though.
of dietitians
But
and nutritionists on
I
the
think
planet
you're just jumping
convince
into assumptions right now. What I mean is like we need both.
We don't need both.
Not as a diet, but as like a food industry.
We don't need both.
I don't think right now.
We don't need both.
Okay,
We're evolved to eat both.
I don't.
Doesn't matter. We don't need both.
Okay, even with the science, right? I think right now we would not. If we just stopped all meat production, it would kill a lot of people, because there's not nearly enough food, or like.
Wait a minute. But all that food that we produce, all that soy, all that corn that we make for animals, we could easily eat that ourselves. In fact, if we didn't feed them to the animals, we could feed the whole population almost twice.
Well, do people eat grass, or do they eat like?
Do you think chickens eat grass?
Okay. Well, do cows eat grass?
Most of them no. Most of them are fed soy and corn.
I know a lot of them eat grass. I know a lot of them eat clover.
No, most of them are fed soy and corn.
Clover and wheat.
Most of them are fed soy and corn.
Okay, well, I'm glad you pointed that out. But still, I feel like a cow is raised and slaughtered humanely.
What? So humanely means with compassion and benevolence.
Okay,
Please explain to me how is compassionate and benevolence to take somebody's life for an optional product.
Can you please stop interrupting? Can I just finish my point, and then like can you point out different things? You know what I mean? Like I'll say my point, and then when I'm done, I'll let you like.
I thought that was your point, because that was already a point. The fact that cows are killed with compassion.
I never said it with compassion.
Oh, you said with compassion and benevolence. All right.
I never said either.
You
of
said
those.
humanely.
I said humanely.
Humanely means with compassion and benevolence.
I meant humanely as in it's not like putting them in an extreme amount of
So
pain.
you don't mean what humanely actually means. You mean something that you think it
Okay,
means.
well, yes, sure.
Okay, so you think humanely means what? Not that bad.
I think humanely in the case of killing animals means that we don't give them pain.
Also, all of the sudden, meaning of words change if the species of the individual is different.
Even
No.
if they live humanely and then they're killed. Is what he
They
means.
live humanely and then they're killed.
Yes.
What is living humanely with compassion and benevolence? How is it living compassionate and benevolence, keeping them captive and not looking like? Let's take dairy cows.
If
Okay,
your life-
do you guys
if you're
know what?
enjoying your
Do you know
life,
what dairy
it
cows go
doesn't-
through?
Dairy
Do-
cows are really fucked.
Do you know what dairy cows
I
go
agree
through?
that there's tons of oppression and injustice inside.
By definition, dairy
agriculture,
cows, do
But
you
I
know what
don't
they go
think that
through?
it necessarily has to be that way.
Do you know what dairy cows go through?
And plus, I know for a fact I don't support like inhumane raising.
Do
like,
you
the
eat dairy?
I eat humane dairy and natural.
So
like,
forcefully
okay,
inseminated babies taken away from them? Is that humane?
I go to the supermarket, and I want to see like field.
You
like,
wanna see
free
labels.
Free range. See label. Yeah, companies.
Those are
that do
labels created by the companies for you.
companies
Those
I
are
do
not
research
true.
on.
Those are not true.
A lot of them are.
Dude, you're buying into their whole bullshit. They created all these labels for
I do
you.
Research. I go to these companies that show me different ways of getting their product, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna.
Tell me what dairy cows go through. Free range,
They go through
biological,
okay,
or
so,
organic.
So these cows, they go through free range. They go in this really big field.
Tell me how do they make milk?
They go.
Why do they make milk?
Why do cows make milk?
Yeah.
For babies.
Exactly. So do you think they get forcefully inseminated, or do you think they get pregnant when they want to?
I think these free range cows actually more often
definitely get forcefully inseminated.
Your friend is on the right there on the money. So
But
they
they
get
also
forcefully inseminated.
Okay. Yes, but they also can be.
No.
They can be.
They cannot be. You know why? Because the minute they can no longer get them pregnant, they kill them. It's pretty simple. Because if they would have to keep them, they're only in heat on a period of the year. If they're only in heat in one period of the year,
No, it does. If you want to produce an item.
there's no other
Bro,
way.
what do you mean an adequate amount of milk?
If you want us to be profitable, you have to.
Okay, but being profitable is different from how it has to be. You know what I mean?
But if it cannot be
it's not
profitable, it
profitable,
cannot be
people
made.
don't do it,
Yeah.
I just
Well,
want to
that's
point
also
something
just
out.
because of competition in general and regulation. If I'm sure there'd be a market for milk, maybe a lot smaller with humane.
But let me see if I get this straight. We have so many alternatives today. Why would we want any of this? Like it's clear that it's
well,
not.
if you can find
like,
me an alternative to milk that doesn't
like
harm
you-
an animal,
no matter how
that
much
I
you want
enjoy
to
as
just.
much as whole milk, I'll actually.
There's
gladly switch.
plant-based milk, and if
I've-
you live
I've
in
had
US,
oat
there is
milk.
dairy milk. It's called bored cow,
You
made
mean
through
non-dairy?
precision fermentation. No, it's made dairy. It's dairy milk made without animals. It's called precision fermentation.
Oh,
they
look that up.
essentially make this genetically modified bacteria that eats sugar with water and creates casein and whey.
What's it called?
Bored cow.
Bored. Yeah. Well, look, I'd certainly be in favor of products like that if it's doing the same thing.
But
I
how
just
can
don't
you-
think
but
that.
the whole thing about it is that, like, I understand what you mean, but you gotta ask yourself: is really my taste pleasure worth more than the whole life of these animals go
Well,
through?
here's the thing. If it's just the transition we're talking about, right?
Yeah, because you're the oppressor. Of course, you value that more.
I just don't think it's necessary.
It's also everybody in the entire
actually
world.
does got
That
me.
doesn't
No,
just because everybody's an oppressor
and
doesn't
no,
mean it's okay.
No, but
We are,
then how are
we
we
are.
going to give these alternatives to like poor countries that can't, or like
Simply by you, who is in a rich country, who is in a position that can choose
But
otherwise, choose
okay,
otherwise.
capitalist countries, people. I've done psychology. I've read a book on this. Capitalist people tend to keep their money to themselves instead of spending on charity, which is a horrible thing.
That's not what I said, is it? I
said
said you
you're
live in a
rich-
capitalistic
rich-
society.
ri-
You
in a
understand
rich
capitalism.
country,
Yes.
and
So
you're
if you
saying that we're
understand
gonna
capitalism,
be
if
giving them money
you
for it,
support
that's-
money, if you support the other side of the industry, the one that doesn't exploit and slaughter innocent animals, if you support this other side grows. It's typical capitalism, isn't it?
Yeah, but
so
then-
why
but then
would
where
it,
am I-
why
how am I
would you
supposed to
support this other side that is oppressive, that is violent towards innocent animals?
How am I supposed to not if we're in a poor?
By choosing something else.
But if I was in a poor country with less
But
money,
you're not.
But what if I was? You got to think about.
But
the
what
whole
if I was
picture.
on a deserted
just
island
want
and I
you
had to eat a human being? Would that justify me killing a human being and eating them now?
I'm not gonna. That is so completely out of whack.
No, it's exactly what you're saying. What if I were in a different situation? I'm consuming animal products because
Yeah,
if I were in a
in
different situation, I have
where you're
to.
poor and you had to choose.
But you're not in that
It's-
situation.
I know I'm not, but I want you to think about the big picture.
I
okay?
already think, dude. I speak to thousands of people, literally.
Okay, but
do you
can
think
I-
you're
can I
bringing
hear-
something to the table that I haven't already?
I know, but I
heard?
want to hear your solution to like if we were in a poor country that couldn't afford the wide distribution and creation of these like.
Okay, let me
these
tell you.
alternatives.
I actually spoke to people from way poorer countries, and most people in poor countries are actually eat more plants, eat considerably less animal products, and are considerably more open towards being vegan. And in fact, I've met people from Africa, Burkina Faso. I've met people from the weirdest islands on earth, and they still manage to be vegan.
Yes.
And if you who live in a place where you have so many options, you have the privilege to choose, and you still choose to oppress and slaughter innocent animals, and you bring and you say, well, not everybody on earth can do it. That's such a fucking asshole move to say. And I'm sorry,
Okay,
I don't
okay,
need to
wait,
call you
wait,
an asshole.
wait,
but
wait,
imagine
wait, wait, wait.
using the
Okay,
plight
listen,
of
listen,
others
listen,
to
listen.
justify your oppression
listen.
of innocent animals.
I don't like
that's
how
a dick
I don't like
move.
how you're trying to like.
That's a dick move.
I don't
man.
like how you're trying to insult us. Like,
I only you, not them, only you.
Okay, I like you're trying to insult me. Well, my mom comes from a poor country. As part of our culture.
Which poor country?
I'm not gonna answer that.
I'm from Romania, for example. I come from a poor country.
Okay, I'm not gonna answer that because it is a war thing. There's racism, and I don't want to answer that.
Is racism bad?
I think racism is bad.
Why is racism bad?
Because it's like human beings thinking other human beings are unequal.
Isn't
No
it bad because
biological distinction between races, by the way.
Yeah.
there are biological distinctions between races?
So are you saying races are different?
That's different.
I'm saying, first of all, races is a group of phenotypes. That's all it is. Races is a group of phenotypes. Discriminating based on a group of phenotypes is not that don't have any moral relevance should not be done. Racism is bad. Sexism is bad. Speciesism is bad. All of them are discrimination based on.
Racism is invented. Racism is invented. People like ethnicities are real. Race
All
is
of these,
not.
I'm sure all of these come from some inherent thing that we have in our brain to think that if somebody looks different, then it's okay to do whatever we want to them. I'm
People
sure
have
that,
been killing each other for.
yeah, I'm sure that we don't do it inherently. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you, by the way. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, but I just really hate it when people who come from rich countries who have a good situation, they use the plight of poorer countries to justify their oppression.
Well, I wasn't.
Let's not do
justifying-
that.
I wasn't trying to justify. I was trying to hear your reason as to why, like, if a poor country like relied more on meat, like what would your solution be?
Well, I can tell you pretty simple. Like, if a poor country relies on meat, then if they rely on animal agriculture, then probably they have enough to feed the animals. And if they, in fact, instead of feeding the animals, they would feed the humans directly, they would have considerably more food.
Is fishing okay? I mean, just like.
I would say fishing is amongst the worst ones because it's
No, no.
essentially bringing a sentient being from out of their
But, like,
so is
environment
hunting-
and
is hunting
asphyxiating them to death.
Is hunting
None of it
okay?
is okay if you don't need to do it.
Okay.
Taking the life of somebody without any need is wrong.
Honestly,
But
I sort of
what
think
about, this is
the direction
stepping on
society
grass?
is going. Like once like meats are more able to be grown in like a lab. Like you think growing meat in a lab is fine, right?
Yeah, I don't have a problem
like once
with
stuff
that.
like that is more.
I'm also
if stuff like that is more prevalent, I'm sure that in 50 years that'll be how it's all done.
And I'm not saying I'm against the idea. I try to stay on a pescatarian diet because I still like enjoy eating meat, but less fish. I think I'm pretty like fish and clams are way less sentient prone than other animals, right? Like
sentience is an on-off switch.
Or-
There's
or-
no
or
middle. Or
conscious.
maybe if you go way towards the end, like maybe bivalves, you can make a case. I'm not sure if
well,
they're
have
sentient
you
or
seen a
not.
razor clam, or like any clam really? Like like how they just like kind of meet. Is there a brain in there?
I don't know. Yeah, I was just saying about bivalves.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I do the precautionary principle there. I err on the side of caution. I think that there's a chance that they might be sentient, so I err on the side of caution. But I think like we know for a fact that these animals are sentient. We know for a fact that they feel. We know for a fact that they cry for their babies when they're taken for their dairy milk. We know for the fact that they feel love. They feel bonds. Pretty much everything that we value in our lives, because none of us value the
Well, I mean,
knowledge
that
in
makes
our
a lot
lives.
of sense, right? Because a lot of our basic emotions are from evolution, and that the evolution
Exactly.
of animals is pretty similar. But I mean, yeah, no, honestly,
It's just about the fact that
I don't agree that I agree with you that we definitely shouldn't be eating. If we had a much better alternative, like if growing meat in a lab was super prevalent right now, that should.
Yeah,
be
I was
But we have plant-based meat.
Yeah, wait,
not
but
as
like
good.
I just want to. I don't necessarily agree with you that animals are conscious in the way that humans are conscious. That's something I don't know.
They are.
Yeah, that's something that's gonna be hard to prove one way or another.
Yeah,
that's,
it's
that's
just
not
like-
really worth
It
the
depends
debating.
you define consciousness.
Yeah, so
are they as intelligent?
like I'm not even sure if I'm conscious. So like,
But
you know
you
what I
could
mean?
you could also argue that their level of consciousness might be even better, right? Because think about
no, you
take
could,
for
but it's
instance
really
a
hard
dog.
to
A dog has that advanced smell and advanced hearing. They could be experiencing the world in such a way that their
no.
subjective experience could be so much more advanced than ours is.
You're fully
Like
right, but we don't know how to know that, and stuff like this, like in nature, things do kill each other. That's how it's been. That
but
should.
in nature, things also animals also rape
Yeah,
each
no,
other.
I'm
right?
not saying that just because it's natural, it's right.
Yeah.
I'm saying that
Okay,
this is
okay.
what's happened in the past, and this is why we're doing it now because it's what allowed us to
I
be
agree.
as successful as we are.
It's like evolution.
I know, but at some point we need to stop, don't we? And we reach that point.
Well, we will. I'm pretty sure we'll be.
Well, we
I don't
reach
think
that
necessarily
point.
have to stop farming ever. I
We
just
ne-
think
we
that
reach that
it
point
should
where we
stop.
don't need
it
to
should,
do it.
I don't think it should be done in an oppressive way, and I'm not entirely convinced that it has to be done in an
also
oppressive
How
way.
many animals is too many animals to be killed, to be treated like objects for something that we don't need?
I don't think it's really. I think as a human race, it's
For me,
less-
one is too many.
Yeah, even one is oppressive, still oppressive. Do I think that oppressive farming is good? Of course not. But at the same
All
time,
farming is oppressive, man.
I don't necessarily know if I agree.
Because you don't because you
Depends what
because
your
when you think about
idea of
oppressive, you try
justice.
you absolutely have to think about this in closed captions, and you think that if a cow has freedom to be on the field, then all of a sudden it's no longer oppression. But you fail to think about all the situations that cow is being put in, the fact that they're forcefully inseminated, the fact that they have their babies taken from them,
But
the
is
fact that they don't get to
forceful-
choose where they go or what they do.
I don't think
They
anyone
have
argues that
absolute.
forceful insemination is not bad.
What I'm saying is that necessarily like intrinsic to farming? Will that always be how farming is?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't
by
necessarily
definition,
think so.
farming means we control their breeding process. That's an essential part of farming.
Right. Well, I wasn't familiar with that definition of farming, but I don't support that, and I think that there's.
But,
I think
you
there's
don't
a
support
way
it
in which-
verbally, but you support it with your money. You
That's
support it
true.
with your choices.
That's true. I do support it with my choices.
And even if you
but
have
I
a
don't
problem,
feel good about it. So
I
is what
understand
need
that.
to
Like,
say.
but even if
Yeah.
you have a problem with factory farming and all the things, I live in the Netherlands. You go outside of Amsterdam, you see 5 cows on the field. I thought there's no way that this is happening here. I was in your position. I was saying the same things. But
Right.
then you think, oh, none of this is actually happening here. And then you look it up. The fact farmers will tell you all sorts of bullshit. I even talked to a farmer. They'll say
Well,
whatever
naturally,
they need to
wanna
say.
sell the meat, like,
Yeah, they
right?
want to sell the product.
And
but
also, they want to believe it, right?
Say it
Like,
again?
They want to believe that they're.
And they also want to believe it. That's also true. A lot of them actually want to believe that because they feel bad about the shit that they're doing. But
Yeah.
I mean, but then you look it up and then you find out it's all exactly the same. The experience of each individual, whether they go through a factory farm or a regular farm, is so similar that the differences are not worth saying that one is so much worse than the other.
I mean,
they're
like,
both
at
bad.
like CAFOs, I'm sure you know what like a CAFO
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Like that is much worse than a lot of the small.
It's fucking
It's
awful.
significantly
It's
worse.
but
Like, that
90
equivalent is not.
90 something percent of animals are bred in CAFOs in US.
Yeah,
so
no, I do know that, but the ones that it's the ones that aren't obviously are living a better lives than the ones that are now.
They're living less worse lives, but at the end of the day,
Well,
they're
less
still
worse
killed.
than the same as
Well,
well,
the
yeah.
thing is,
No,
at
no,
the-
no, I understand
But
that
the thing at the end of the day,
they
they get still killed as babies.
He's
they-
using better as
can't
like
find.
as less. It's like
It's
a
not
sin.
like it's yeah.
No, the only I know it is better, but the only reason why I emphasize it, calling it less worse, is
So
because
it's
if we
still bad. Yeah, yeah.
because it is still bad indeed. If we call it better or worse, we end up in the situation where we think, oh well, that's okay, but it isn't. It's still not okay.
I never really said that it was a good thing. I said it was kind of a human reliance. It's still kind of bad, but in a sense, everything that humans do is kind of bad. But we're not just gonna all kill
Let's not
ourselves.
appeal to futility and saying that everything humans do is bad, therefore it's okay to do anything.
I never
we
said
can
that.
improve
I
on
never
that.
said that.
The argument that I like more when it comes to the stuff is like the environment stuff. Like 40% of the world is used just on livestock raising. Like I think, and a
Obviously.
huge amount of CO2 is released. I think that's much like I just don't like the sentience argument because I don't even know what it means to be conscious. I understand that it's convincing to some people.
Yeah.
But like the environment
It's-
stuff.
but the
is
thing
more
is,
mortality.
I understand what you mean, but I stand up for the rights of animals. I'm not here to talk about the environment necessarily. Is it better for the environment? You're right, it is. But even if it weren't, I would still think we should
You know,
be
it's actually
not
funny
be
how this
doing
works
this for
because
the
usually
animals.
reducing oppression is better for the environment as a whole because when things are oppressed, people live in awful conditions, tends to be a lot of pollution. So really across the, it's
It
like,
is.
they're pretty- they're
It
pretty
is. But even if it weren't, I would still think we shouldn't oppress humans or
yeah.
animals. I don't think the environment is a justification for us to do whatever we want to any being
Well,
just
yeah, but
because
it
we
would just
can.
be it would just be like it's in our best interest to do something that's morally right anyway. No.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get to the idea that what we do to animals is not is wrong, and the fact that we can change. We don't have to defend what they do. You can admit that what they're doing is wrong. If you find it difficult to change, that's okay. I give you resources for that. I'm not here to police you. I don't know what you're gonna do going forward. Obviously, we meet now and we may never meet again. That's it, our whole lives. But at least don't defend the shit that these assholes are doing. I'm sorry for calling you that, but these are actual assholes. Like these industries these industries are horrific assholes. They lie to you. They get subsidies from the government.
They also treat their workers. Really
They treat workers bad. Like the slaughterhouse workers in PT have PTSD from
kill
working in
things all
slaughter.
day, yeah.
Exactly. Like for them, blood and stuff is no longer anything. So, like, I don't defend what they do. If you enjoy their products, it's a different thing. But then you really gotta think because, you know, we enjoyed what came out of slavery. We enjoyed a lot of stuff. That doesn't mean that slavery was okay. Just like this doesn't mean it's okay because we enjoy what we get out of it.
Well, I think what we're trying to say is we're less defending it and kind of just giving a reason behind why it happened.
Okay, I understand what you mean.
Because I'm not really one for it, obviously, but I still I kind of have a reliance on it, of course. A lot of people do, but I don't think a lot of people are as willing to change as you were, of course, because they're probably misinformed, they don't know as much, or because it's like me, and it's just a humongous human population. It's just it's really hard to change.
It makes it easy, even if you think it's wrong. It makes it easy to do it because everybody else does it.
Yeah, and
I
it's
know that.
And it's gonna be hard to change because there's less.
Because everybody else does it. We live in a world where everybody does it. Most of the products are that way.
Well, and that's also how humans survive. You know, that's how they got.
No, I get what you mean. I just still think that shouldn't be a justification for continuing doing it. But you know what? Let me give you guys some cards.
Yeah, we're about to go.
Yeah. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm sorry if it got a little bit.
It's
heated
okay.
up.
I know how it feels to be passionate about something.
I really
I'll give
respect.
you a handshake.
Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
just
matter.
really respect that. Thank you for having this conversation with me. Let me just give you something, just real quick. I urge you, if you scan this QR code, there's two things there: either Dominion or the most important speech you'll ever hear. Sorry, yeah. So if you scan this QR code, both of them appear on top. Watch one of them just to learn about animal agriculture. That's it. I just want you to get educated, okay?
Okay.
Promise me you'll watch one of them?
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. Okay,
Thank
have an
you.
awesome
It was a
day.
pleasure.
Enjoy
Thank you.
Amsterdam. And
Nice to meet you.
make better choices, okay? Cheers. Got a bit heated up over there. Just don't like it when people defend this shit. Oh, I said I'll end. I think I'm gonna end, yeah. Got heated up at the end. Hey Felix, nice to see you here. Yeah. Seen you live for quite a while now. Yeah, it's been almost 3 hours. I think I'm gonna end it because I need a break. I'm gonna take a break also tomorrow. I'm not gonna do. Oh, actually tomorrow I'm gonna be on Vegan Stoner Lady on TikTok. If you guys want to join that. That was a long conversation. Yeah, it was a long one. I tried, explaining to them. I think one of them eventually opened up. I don't know what was that whole thing about oppression that they had where it's not oppression. I don't know why. I think that's where this whole disagreement became stupid. all of it became stupid because we disagreed on the idea of oppression. And I don't know why. I've never had that happen. Like, most people admit that it is oppressive. Jesus Christ, I'm so sweaty. Like, look at this. Yeah. Must be hot. It is hot. Yeah. Getting hydrated. Thank you, Felix. Everybody reminding me to get hydrated. Thank you. Normally, I would want to sit with a sign about veganism now, but I think if I do that, I ruin everybody else's chance. There's a lot of activists here. So tomorrow, I'm not going to be live, but tomorrow I am going to be on Vegan Stoner Ladies TikTok. It's at 6 p.m. Amsterdam time. I'm going to be there. Maybe if you want to join, I don't know if you have a TikTok account. If you don't want to join, that's okay. You don't have to. I'm just telling you where I'll be. On Tuesday, it's going to be 35 degrees, so probably I'm not going to do any outreach also. I'm just going to take a break. But on Wednesday, I might be back on Discord. So yeah, that's when I'm going to be live, the next one. Noodle raisins. I believe in helping animals and supporting their well-being. Noodle and raisins. I think you should be vegan. If you believe in helping animals, then you surely wouldn't want to pay for them to be exploited and slaughtered. I'm just saying. No, you didn't defend animal farming. You said, did I defend animal farming? I don't think you did. I'm not sure if you're vegan or not, and if you are, that's excellent. But if you're not, I think you should be. Just saying. Regardless if it's animal farming, animal hunting, whatever. All of them deserve to live and be free like all of us. Vegan Stoner Lady tomorrow at 18 hours on TikTok with that chip guy. Yes, thank you so much, Pia. I see some people donated. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I got a little bit heated on this conversation. I just couldn't believe how we got into that situation where they didn't think it was oppressive to do that to animals. But eventually, I think they kind of cooled down and they kind of understood the point. At least one of the guys did, but whatever. Yeah. But I'm glad you all think you deserve as much respect and care as a pig. I don't think that was ever the case. I think we all deserve the right to not be enslaved. Yes, we all deserve that right equally. I don't think you deserve it more because you're more intelligent. Because if that were the case, then I should deserve that right even more because I'm more intelligent than you, right? That hip guy. I love it, that hip guy. Thank you, Pia. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for supporting this channel, and thank you for I don't know, for being out there in the chat. I'm sure it wasn't easy. Watch the minion. Has says, yeah, yams not lambs is a good one. Yams not lambs. Yeah, I love it. Eat figs, not pigs. Love it. Yeah, love it. Yeah, let me show you a little bit around. Since we ended the week of a lot of activism, let me show you a little bit around. Wait. Oh, somebody just made a donation. Please go buy yourself a drink, says Lambretta Barnes. Thank you so much, Lambretta Barnes. Let me show you around a little bit. So, I'm not gonna move too much, but I'm gonna show you because now I know that I can zoom in. You see, we have another activist doing the social experiment. That's Marcel. He's a really good activist. He speaks French, German, and I think another language. Well, Dutch and English. The shorts look good on you, but thank you. Sorry for shaking. Okay, maybe it's a little bit better if I... There's another activist over here. You see, holding a sign. Everybody's... There's two activists over there holding a sign. You see them? Yeah, they're walking around. A lot of activism being done. I appreciate that. There's another activist over there. Let me see if I can zoom them in. You see there? He's holding a sign. Yeah, so, and there's this whole... I don't know what they are. These tents for this festival that is happening. I've been sitting here. This is my tripod where I've been sitting. On that side, what I've been seeing is the museum, Van Gogh Museum. And over here is where I normally sit. It's the Moko Museum. It's like the street art museum. It's kind of nice. It's nice. Yeah. Yeah. This is where I'm at. As you can see, it's sunny. Everybody's seeking shade, though. Normally, people would be seeking the sun, but most people are seeking shade. There's not a lot of people on the street. It's pretty chill. Nice pronunciation of oh, thank you. I guess I'm pretty good at pronouncing. And that's the what do you call it? Rijksmuseum. I showed you around a little bit, just to see kind of what I see, just to see kind of where I'm at. I think it's nice for all of us to get the same perspective. Okay, that's it, everybody. I'll see you again next week. A shout out to Tone. I think he was the first one to comment on last night's stream. Shout out to Draculum for the stream where he commented first. That's also awesome. Draculum, you're always so fast. Shout out to Lewis for always commenting first. Well, first with a U, because that's what Lewis always comments. Give you a shout out also to that. But yeah, I appreciate everybody being here. Have a good existence. I love that. Have a good existence. Respect animals. Respect others. Let's make the world a little bit a better place. Think about it this way. Maybe you can't do something today, but until we meet next time, it's going to be Wednesday. You have 2.5 days. Do something to make the world a little bit better. What that is, if you're not vegan, you know what? Do it. Skip. Make one meal vegan. You can't. You don't want to go vegan. That's okay. Make one meal plant-based. Make one meal. It's okay. Just try it. Try something new. If you are vegan, speak up for animals. Speak up to somebody about what animals do. Read about some interesting things about animals. Make a post about it. I don't know. Let's just, until the next time we meet, let's all try to do one thing. I'll also try to do something that makes the world a little bit better. Speak for animals' rights. Speak for women's rights. Speak for LGBTQ rights. Okay? All of us need to be, utilitarian, Chip says Navia. No, not utilitarian, but you know what I mean. I just want... I know there's people who are subscribed to this channel, people who are not vegan, people who kind of understand the morals but are not yet convinced. And I think that if you at least try it out a little bit, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. You'll see. You gotta get your hearts a little bit dirty. You gotta get in there a little bit. So yeah, veganism is not about having this position. It's not a diet. It's a moral principle of rejecting animal exploitation. But I'm trying to show you that that concern that you have for food might not actually be a concern. And while you may understand the principle that it is bad, no, I'm done, sorry, that's okay. While you may understand the principle that it is bad to oppress animals, and you might, the only thing holding you back might be this diet, just try it out a little bit. Try it out and you'll see maybe it won't hold you back anymore. I want to say thank you everybody who donated yet again. Please consider animals. Please consider them. Please do one nice thing. I'll see you again in the next one. Be vegan. And if you're not vegan, 3-minute challenge in the description, okay? See you in the next one, everybody. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. You don't know, I just have no idea how much I appreciate this community and everything that you do. Appreciate all of you, okay?